Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to my live stream. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching me from. Today is Tuesday, the 1st of November. Happy New Month is in order right now. Thank you guys for joining me. Please come in and, come in, guys. Let's deliberate on this matter that is before us right now. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Aziza TV. Thank you for being here. Ifeanyi Okeke, thank you, beautiful sister, for being here. And for those watching me from Facebook, thank you guys for being here. Please don't forget to share me on your Facebook wall. Let's discuss this matter that is arising. And I trust your day is going okay. How is your day going? Trust you're keeping up and keeping on with your families. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, Aziza TV. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you guys for being amazing. You guys are the reason why we are still here. When you come out, some people, someone joins you. That is really wonderful. Oh my God, I'm finding it difficult to breathe, but we all know what it is. I'm talking about Davido and Chioma Roland losing their son yesterday. I did a breaking news on that the moment it was confirmed by Gist Lover last night. And I'm supposed to come up with an update on this, but I couldn't just bring myself up to up to terms that became a reality. I was so disturbed last night. I was on a phone with a friend that couldn't sleep as well over this issue. She was awake 1 a.m. her time, and all we could talk about was Davido, Chioma, and their son. I was like, you have to sleep, baby girl, you have to sleep. I can't sleep. I can't bring myself to the point of sleeping. I say it's 1 p.m. and it's 11 past 11 my time. You need to go to bed so that I can also go to sleep. But she couldn't find sleep. Thank you guys for joining Mel Fitness. Thank you for being here. Please, guys, as you come in, don't forget to thumbs up this live stream for me. Money Move Records TV. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. Where do I start from? I'm trying to breathe, guys. If you haven't lost somebody, you will not understand the feeling that is going on in these people's mind, their brain, how it's working right now, the pain they are going through. But if you have ever lost somebody dear to you, then you can be able to understand. Most times when it comes to losing somebody, I think the best way to get around it, when you put yourself in that person's shoes, then you can be able to understand the pain involved. Honestly, the pain of losing a child. I remember when my mother lost her son. I was with my mother. I could see her break into pieces, unable to hold herself and put herself together. It is a painful thing to lose a child. It is extremely painful to lose a loved one. And we don't know this child physically, but in one way or the other, we know this child because she has been in the news from the day she was born. Even before she was born, during the pregnancy, she was all over the news. So everybody could relate with this child. Everybody could connect with this child. And anybody that calls him or herself a human being can relate to the loss of a child. I'm not here just to talk about him. Is he the father? He's very handsome, very cute, very adorable, or is it the father? He's just a baby. He knows nothing about this life, or is it the father is Davido's son, or is it the father is Chioma's son, or is it the father controversy that gone around this child from childbirth to the time, everything in between. We've come to embrace this child, love this child, adore this child. Last week was his birthday. A lot of people celebrated his birthday, and just look at it. A few days ago, he was alive in the pool playing with his father, doing swimming tutorials. Mel Fitness, thank you for being here, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. And for those watching me from Facebook, please share this stream on your Facebook wall so that others can also come. You can contribute if you want to contribute. I can drop a link for anyone that wants to contribute to this. So my title today is about Davido and Chioma's son, Ifeanyi, parents, a wake-up call. Why do I say parents, a wake-up call? One is too much. Then we're having two. 4 years ago, this happened to D'banj. For most people that don't know D'banj was one of those people that did lovely music when I was, when I was coming up as a young woman. I enjoyed the dance, Coco Master and everything, Igwe, and so D'banj was a thing. For folks now that have not heard him sing recently, they might not understand D'banj. D'banj was a thing. The same thing happened to D'banj. Fast forward now is Davido's turn, and they are both in music industry. Then one will start asking what is going on. One will start asking what is going on. I'm using this opportunity to call on parents. If you're a parent, please come in here, let's discuss this. If you're a parent, come in here, let's talk about this. There are things we need to know and we need to do, not just knowing, we need to do as parents. We have to do more. Yeah, we have to do more. I'm not here to blame Chioma, I'm not here to blame Davido, but let this be the end. Igbo people say, Ozemena, let another one not happen. That is the whole essence of this video. Let's learn from this, because if a lesson were picked when it happened to D'banj, you will not be here talking about Ifeanyi. But most times we don't learn. God is so kind that he blesses with children. If you have money to have a pool in your house, you have money to maintain the lifestyle. Nothing stops you from putting a barricade around your pool. Nothing stops you from getting a pool cover to secure the pool. These are things that parents should know. How much will it cost? It will cost nothing to Davido. Davido just last week bought a car for Chioma, a G-Wagon, right? How much does G-Wagon cost in thousands of dollars? Pool covering could just be maybe $2,000 you bought pool covering. But G-Wagon, especially the type Davido bought for Chioma, we are talking about hundreds of thousands, okay? At least I know about, if you're getting a brand new one, 128,000, 130 something thousand, yes. But the pool cover, things to secure your pool, will not be more than, in fact, it will even be up to $1,000, trust me. And these things are the things parents should know so that they can secure their environment. Why am I saying this is a call, a wake-up call for parents? Oftentimes, it has, even here on YouTube, it was a case. I remember when people made videos about nanny, house help, this, that. One Nigerian YouTuber said the reason why people overseas are talking about saying a bad thing about house helps and nannies and whatever is because most of them cannot afford house helps. I said, really? If you're leaving your child under somebody's care, is that person you're leaving your child qualified? Or even, I know in Nigeria, they will say they don't issue them license and all of that. Those are the things, the measures you need to take as a parent. I believe accident happens. I believe that. I know that. Anything can happen to anybody. But as a parent, do what is within your reach. to make sure that every I is dotted, every nick, everything is covered and secured, especially when you start having children. Last year, welcome Nelo Sai, thank you for being here. Last year, a friend of mine's, she has a toddler, and as of last year, the boy started walking and all of that. I called her, I said, look, girl, this is the time for you to start raising things in your house a little bit higher than your child could reach. If your TV is on a lower something, you have to think about another way to position it. Take everything that could be harmful to the child out of reach. There are so many things we need to do. So many things. So many things. It even starts before the child starts crawling. If you live in a house that has staircase, that's when you start buying staircase gate. You buy this, secure this, all the edges of the house that have a sharp ends. That's the time you have to secure everything. Some people go as far as even securing their cooking stove, their fridge, because they have toddlers. People might call them, these people are freaks. No, they are doing the best they could for their little one. Okay, Chioma and Davido, they went out of state to another state for a family gathering. Some people will come and say, why didn't you carry your child? They are not used to taking the boy around. That's what it simply means. Or maybe because it's happening in just Ibadan and Lagos are very close, we'll just go and come back. As usual, they must have trusted these nannies over the years. The boy in question just turned 3. Then what happened? What were those nannies doing? I'm telling you, Azizat, some fathers are not qualified, not to talk of house help. I'm telling you. You know, when they were making the fuse out of it on YouTube here, saying nanny, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give an example. I was supposed to be at a party on Saturday, but the IV to that party said adult only. And I said, okay, adult only is obvious. You do not invite me, because if you want me to come, I have 2 kids, I have to go with them. I can't leave my child for another person to take care of because I want to go and eat rice. That I'm sorry, I can't come. I'm sorry, I cannot come. And let me even adjust my glasses. And it's as simple as that. Somebody will say, it's a matter of a few hours you can. I say, no, there are things I know I cannot do. I might be that crazy mom that, yeah, there are things I can do. Somebody will say, but they go to school. Yes, they go to school because school has authorized personnel working in school to watch over them. They go to school after school because school has, when I mean authorized persons, licensed person that the school can hold accountable to watch after children. But anything after that, I'm sorry, that party can hold. That is my own opinion. That gig can hold. I won't suffer it for too long. They will grow someday. If I want to go for party, I know fully where they can be able to handle themselves, then I can do those things. Parents, this is a wake-up call. Pick your priorities right. Know what is most important to you and work with it. There is no reason whatsoever, honestly. The next thing somebody will say is because they can afford nanny. No, if you can afford nanny, afford a licensed nanny that knows my sole responsibility is this child and this child alone. Every hour, every second, every minute, I should be able to be accountable about the whereabouts of this child. That is somebody who is on a job. That is the idea that person on a job needs to have. 24 hours, unless if the child is sleeping and I'm sleeping. Apart from that, if I'm here to work for 8 hours and my job is solely to watch a child, that is all I need to do. That is all my responsibility. So I should be able to account for that child every second, every minute, every hour. That is someone who knows the duties assigned to him or her over a child. Welcome, Spice It Up with Onwa dear. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for being here. But oftentimes, people don't even understand. You know, when you start getting very familiar with your domestic staff, you understand some of them take that for granted because they can laugh with madam, they can smile, play with madam, and all of that. Some of them take that for granted. The moment madam is not there, nonchalant attitude sets in. Most of them don't even remember the essence of their employment. The whole essence of that employment is for you to do what? Watch over this child. And knowing that it's Davido, I know they are not being paid peanuts. You're being paid good amount of money to watch over a child. So tell me, for that 30 minutes the child was not accounted for, what were those nannies doing? Nanny, help, whatever you have, house help. Oh yeah, my house help takes care of my children. The way they talk about it in Nigeria, as if it's just a big man thing, is a thing of pride. Get to the bathroom, give your child a bath. It's your child, it's your responsibility. Do not pass it to another person to do. Do that for you and do that for your child. That's when you can be able to observe if anything is happening internally on your child. If your child is being, if things are being done to your child, you'll be able to know because you'll be able to bait that child. It's high time parents, in fact, I don't know. I'm trying not to really be very offended. I'm trying not to really be very angry and upset. But this is a wake-up call to parents. Big wake-up call. You see? Okay. Nello side said, to be honest, I'm scared of getting house help. Azizat said, here, Azizat is in Australia. She's a Nigerian in Australia. So in Australia, before you even, they will leave your child for you, you have to do police clearance. For anybody listening to me or hearing my voice today, police clearance, you have to get a clearance showing that you can work with children, you understand, before they can leave children for you. That is a society that is organized, that everything is factored into. Welcome, Nemuzo. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Time Out with Daniel. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate every one of you. I'm trying to calm down because let me take a sip of water. I don't want to, I want to pass a message here. If you're a parent in Nigeria, a mother, a father, and if God bless you with a child, you are that child's guardian, you are that child caretaker, you're everything for that child. When you decide to assign somebody to your child, assign your child to another person's care, you have to make sure that person is completely monitored. You have to make sure the whereabouts of that person, even outside your own home, how is that person's behavior? People live on eye service, pretending to be nice, to care so much, why they don't even care at all. You have to be on the guard at all times. We're talking about a baby that can't even help himself. You have to. Another thing I'm saying here, and I'll continue to stress it, if you have a pool and you have toddlers at home, please secure your pools. I'm going to say this because it's getting too much now. It's happening all over. I would say 15 years ago, I had experience of this. A very dear friend of mine called that the sister lost a son. This kind of incident. I was so touched because he's a sister. I have been to her house. I've spent a weekend with them. I wept in my soul. What happened? That they were all playing. They did not know. They did not know. This one, they even put barricade on their. No, they did not put anything on their pool. They did not know when the child went back to the pool and started swimming and got drowned. So you can understand. And after that, the pool was taken out of the house because the memory of that did not leave the woman. They closed the pool, sand filled the pool, made it a playing ground because she couldn't come to terms that because she did not do this, she did not do that is something she has lived with for many years of her life. I'm talking about 15 years ago. And this is a woman that has 5 children, right? One of them, this happened to. But that memory did not leave that child, that woman. If you have a pool, there is something they use to secure pools. You cover the pool. Adults can even stand on the pool and it will not sink. These are measures you can do as a parent. 4 years ago, I said it at the beginning of my stream. 4 years ago, the band lost his child to this same scenario. You would think that when that happened, people will be more careful with children and pools. No. No. Let me read some comment. Hi, Vicky's Connor. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Nemus said that little boy should be at the side of, or at their side every moment. Absolutely. The nanny. It depends on, let me even go back a little bit. I wouldn't blame the parent. They did what they had to do. Nemuzo said again, the nanny has to be questioned. She's responsible for taking care of the little boy. What was she doing on the phone instead of looking out for the boy? Hey, when things like this happen, when things like this happen, this one is something we cannot reverse. We cannot rewind that clock. Okay, that time she was on the phone. I shouldn't have been on the phone. This has happened, and it's a very grievous one that is going to, live with the family and live with the rest of the people that have come to know and love this little boy for the rest of everyone's life. He's now a statistic. Is now a reference point to things like this. The nanny and the rest of the people they said about 8 or 9 people were home when the incident happened, and all of them been arrested to come and answer at the police station. Whatever they answer, will it bring back the child? Zilch. It will not bring back the child. Will it take away this pain? No. No matter what their answer is, it will not bring back this child. It will not take away the pain. So what I'm saying for any parent listening to me, let's try to avoid this by doing the needful. If you have pool in your home, secure your pool. Put a gate, put a barricade around the pool and put a gate. And better still, if you don't like the gate because it kind of makes it not elegant anymore, if you don't like the gate, get pool secure covering and secure your pool. Once the pool is not in use, you secure it. It covers the pool, you put the harnessing thing and then secure the pool, and nobody will have this kind of situation. I'm saying this now for in case of what, for references. Let this not happen again to any parent listening to me. Let this not happen again. This would have been an unavoidable incident if at all these things were put in place. It wouldn't have happened in the first place. It wouldn't have happened in the first place. When it happened with the band, it pained as much as this one. It was so painful. A lot of people wept and cried. It was very, very, very painful. I remember 4 years ago. And a lot of people say, empathize, sympathize, whatever you can think of, condolences were sent. That would have been the time everybody started buckling up. If your pool is so close to your home, please put a barricade around the pool. Let's ditch the elegancy and all of that until your children can swim very well and walk out of the pool by themselves. Let's do the needful. What we can do as parents, get a pool covering and cover your pool. It's not, in fact, is even, you can't even compare it to the price of the things you're going to use to build your pool. It's very, very affordable. It's very cheap. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joseph, all the way from Facebook, for being here. I really appreciate you. and your continuous support. Thank you for being here. Nemuzo said pool covers really exist in Nigeria. Yes, they are. They have them. There is nothing that is not in Nigeria. Even if it's not in Nigeria, you can order it. Last week, Davido bought a G-Wagon for Chioma. Well, how much is G-Wagon? We know the price. It ranges from hundreds of thousands of dollars. How much will a pool coverage cost? I mean, less than $1,000. So there is no reason whatsoever. If you have a pool in Nigeria, this is the time for you to secure your pool. Do not wait for tomorrow. I will do it later. No later. Today is the time to secure that pool. Especially when you have toddlers at home, when you have little kids at home. Don't solely trust on they have nannies. No. Don't solely depend on they have nannies. No. Don't. Those people, maybe they've not even gone through child labor. They don't even know the value of life. If you value your own so preciously, don't solely rely on them. Don't solely rely on nannies. They have nannies. Okay, I'm fine. No. You can decide to tell them, as a matter of fact, when I'm not home, nobody goes to the pool. It becomes a standing order. No child goes to the pool unless the parents are there. And once in a while, every 2-3 months, you sit your nanny down. You have what? An appraisal period. I don't know if they do all of those kind of things. Do appraisal with their nanny. This is where you faulted last month, this week, last week, yesterday. And I need you to work on this area, that area, that area. Do appraisal report. Let there be performance reports. Because they are earning salary, they are earning income. So they are employees. And for the fact that employees, have an appraiser for them. Tell them how their performance has been. I don't know. We don't have to wait until another tragedy happens. Then we'll start talking about it. No. This is the time. This is the hour. Parents, wake up. I think our people are acting this way because they don't arrest parents for things like this. Mel, you can say that again. You need approval for the council before you can build any pool here. And if you have kids, you have to cover it. We take pool cover for granted. Absolutely. I think this should be made compulsory where kids are involved. Yeah. I know is there, but they don't get it. If one can afford a pool, they better put a pool cover on it, especially with kids. Absolutely. 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 The funniest aspect is that Nigerians are saying they use it for dress. Joseph, I saw that news that Nigerians are saying they use the child for rituals. Nigerians will always believe there is more. When people get money from rituals and they're still poor, right? Even the native doctor that is going to do ritual for them is the poorest of them poor. The native doctor, is he forbidden from getting money himself since he knows how to do rituals and make money for people? People should stop believing in nonsense that they use the child. What kind of nonsense is that? Why do people believe in, why are our people so gullible, if I'll put it that way? The native doctor that is going to do ritual for somebody is living in a thatched house. Living in a thatched house, and then it's going to make you to become a billionaire. Money, they run away from the native doctor, from the ritualists. They don't like money. People should stop saying that thing. It was an accident that happened to this family. The one I read again, that they're using it to boost back their career and all. Can you imagine? Is this Davido looking for money? Seriously, is he really looking for money? Going by inheritance from his father, he will get a lot of money. Is it really money that Davido is looking for that people will now coin this story to ritual? What is wrong with Nigerians? What is wrong with Nigerians? Making reference to Nigeria. Yeah, it happened for anybody that knew at the time when that thing happened, the Banji's pool is actually from his bedroom. You walk into the pool. So it was very close. The house was elegantly built for a single person, a bachelor, a whatever you can think, a single lady, a single man. That is how the Banji's house was. When the incident happened, you could see from the bedroom, you walk into the Banji's pool. That was how elegant the home was. But once a child start coming in, once you start making babies, you're not a married person. Ditch all those elegancy and do what is needful. Secure your home. That is what is needful and that is what is required. They have pool covering that even adults can stand on it and it will not sink down. If you can afford a pool, how much is pool covering? If you can afford a mansion, is it the little fence you put around the pool that you cannot afford? You think what happened to the band? A lot of people will secure their pools and rest of them. But you can see another one happen again. But what baffles me most is that people are saying they're using it for it. What nonsense is that? What nonsense? Our people should stop thinking like that and wake up to reality. Accidents happen. We have a family here, a Nigerian family here. Their boy died at 17 years old. He was playing basketball with his mates in the university and he slumped. If you know America, you know that, what is it called? Paramedics are always there when they're playing matches. They came immediately. Less than 5 seconds, he fell. They were there trying to resuscitate him, but the guy could not make it. The boy passed. 17-year-old. What would they now say? The parents use the boy for ritual. What nonsense. People should stop it. Accident happens. We should just pray that it doesn't happen to us. People should take away. Is it money that Davido is looking for, that he's so wretched that he's looking for how to use his first son to do ritual? What? Oh my goodness. I don't trust anyone. Even when I'm at work, I call every now and then to check on my kids. I don't blame you, Azizat. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. At all. Imagine what Nigerians are saying. Honestly, Davido, they poor, that he's looking for money by all means. What kind of nonsense? And he was paying for G-Wagon that is over $100,000. Do the math in Naira, then you know how much the money costs. Joseph, no mind them or no mind those people, I beg. No just believe anything you see. Most of those things you see on Facebook are just people are using it to cash out and not knowing that it's actually a form of bullying and then destroying somebody's image. It's so sad that this is happening. Mel Fitness said, if you can afford a pool in your home, then you should be able to afford put cover. Absolutely. All sorts of crazy things are being said. Hello, Cost Rep. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate. Yes, she did, Onwadia. She took her job for granted. Here, Nanny's rule. Nanny have rules they have to follow here. Absolutely. That is the thing. And yesterday I was talking on this with Onwadi. I said there are three things my mind is telling me that nanny was doing. I'm sorry I have to say here. Is either the nanny was on the phone doing Instagram, pinging the phone, pim, 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 or is either she has taken something and tipsy and somewhere fell asleep, or is either she's busy collecting with the houseboy or collecting with the gardener. It must be something engaging her that she did not know where the boy was at the time. I was just saying this, the same people will still say Davido and then still collect from him. Absolutely, Nigeria, my country. Honestly, many things are on my head. Oh, Cost Rep, I know many things can be on there. Everybody said, but definitely is not ritual. Davido is not looking for money. Please, people should just stop that nonsense way of thinking. And everything is not ritual. It's not everybody that is that hungry looking for money. This boy is not looking for money. All his life he was born in wealth and he's been experiencing it. So people should stop saying that. Okay, there are other things they can think about, but not this. Accident happened. I just gave an instance of one of us here in our Nigerian community here. The boy was sent off to school. They drove their child to school, was playing game with his schoolmate, their school team. He slumped, he passed. It happened in the US. I couldn't bring myself to terms to go for that boy's funeral. My husband had to go by himself. So would they now say that the parents use their son? What nonsense. What nonsense. As Gossip is saying, then why pool, why water, why sons, why at that age? Gossip, anything can happen to anybody. Let's stop reading unnecessary meanings to this. Anything can happen to anybody. My mother lost her first child, a son, at age he was more than 2 when he passed. Okay, anything can happen to a child. And at the time, they said it was convulsion that killed the boy, and that was many years ago. Anything can happen to anybody. People can have accidents, and that is life. I'm making this wake up call for parents. For those people that are so dependent on their nannies, yeah, they can do that. No, do not throw in your towel because you think you have a nanny. Yeah, baby girl life, I'm going to flex. No, as you're flexing, flex with your responsibility, which is your child. Okay, there is no shame in doing that. Flex with your child. Anywhere you're going, let them be your handbag. Okay, don't solely depend on what? On the fact that you have nannies. Don't let this be a wake-up call. I've seen people, if they are going to perform for music performance, they will carry their whole family, lodge them in the hotel, the nanny will be there with them. People do that. If it's something that Nigerians should start doing, let them start doing it. Do what you can do as parents. And first of all, you have to start by safeguarding your pool. If you can have a pool, you have to have what? A barricade for the pool. If you don't want the barricade because it's not elegant, these days they make a lot of things elegant. You can get transparent gates for your pool. There is this glass ones, the fortified glass that not even the sun can shatter, not even rocks can shatter. Use those to barricade the pool. If you don't want that because it's not elegant, use a pool cover to cover the pool. This is what parents should be doing now. Anybody listening to my voice and you have a pool in Nigeria, you have toddlers in your home, this is a wake-up call. Let this not happen again. 4 years ago, it happened and a lot of people were shattered. This is a wake-up call. A wake-up call. And again, your nanny is your employee. You are paying salary. Do appraisal. Our people are very good with eye service. When I mean eye service, 100% that once the madam is around, they are the best of everything. But what happens when the madam is not around? Put CCTV. And don't let them know that you have CCTV in the house, so that you'll be able to know how your child is cared for. When you come back from your activities, you play the CCTV, it will give you an idea what kind of nanny do you have, what kind of minder is minding your child, what kind of help do you have. If you have money to afford a nanny, you can as well have money to get CCTV. Honestly, there is no excuse whatsoever these days. There is always an option to something. There is always something to be able to remedy a problem. People are thinking every day on how to find solutions to everyday problem, and they are coming up with ideas. That's why the issue of CCTV is there. Put it if you have a nanny and get to know how well that nanny is doing when you're not there. Don't solely rely on how they do when you're present, but when you're not there, how are they behaving? A wake-up call to everybody, including myself. If you are a parent and you have little ones, wake up. If you have nannies, do not solely rely on nannies. If you have a pool, safeguard the pools. And for those thinking Davido has used his child for ritual, may God forgive all of you one after the other. May God have mercy on you, pool. Somebody will come and, no, may God have mercy on you, pool. Sometimes we have a nanny and some ladies will leave all their responsibility for the nanny. I think parents should also take responsibilities too. You are so right, Joseph. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right on parents should know their responsibilities. Parents should know their responsibility. Some people don't beat their children. Nanny does all of that. How do you get to know if somebody scratched your child, especially when your child cannot talk? How do you know if somebody has gone into your child's private and do something there? How will you know if you don't take your time to take care of your child, bathe your child, dress up your child? If you leave all of those to your nanny to be doing while you answer madam, how will you know a lot of things that you would have discovered by yourself if you were doing the needful? How would you know? Cost rep is saying, okay, I'm gonna read another comment. Aziza says some of these nannies don't really care. All they care is about the money. Absolutely. You're so right. I remember a few years ago when my kids were still under 10, during summer holiday, one little girl walked into my home and knocked that she's 13, she's this, she does nanny babysitting for people. So she's this is her resume in case if I want her to babysit for me when we're going out or something like that. I was really impressed by the the way she came up to my home and talked about it. And I said, okay, fine, I've heard you. But if I need the service, I will consider. How can I need the service? If na dinner won't go, I go pack all of them, make we they go the dinner together. Oga, forget romance this time, we'll make the children grow first. Romantic dinner, make we suspend them. We are all going there. If they are making noise and jumping, all of us will be there together. I am that kind of mother. I am that mother that I can afford to go to a party. If the party invitation says adult only, I will sit myself down. What's come to us, if I want to dance, I will blast the music in my house and dance to my feel. I am that kind of mother. They've come to know me in my community that this is, if you're inviting Oyoyo and her husband, though, and there is adults only, make sure you put reservation for them, for their children, because they will not come. Sometimes define yourself. Define yourself. If somebody is angry that you did not come for the event, tell them your reason why. Somebody was telling me that I don't come out this. I say, no, I can come out if it's kids friendly. But once it's adult only, I respect the host. I wouldn't come there with my children when you said kids are not welcome. So I would rather sit at home. And the last thing I would do is to go and pay a nanny to watch over them for me to go for party. I can't do that. I am not wired like that. Some people can afford to do that and it works for them, but it can't work for me, because I will not really enjoy myself out there knowing fully well I don't know what is happening around my kids. That is how conscious I am about raising my children. That is how intentional I am about them. Another person will say after they go to school, okay, what do you do when you go to work and then they are school? Yeah, they go to after school care. After school care, at least we'll have about 5 to 6 adults, teachers, nannies, school nannies, and other people involved, watching over these children for that length of time they are going to be at school. They have license for those. If not, the school district will not be able to operate if there is no license. So like I said, this kind of domestic thing we are talking about here, once in a while, every month, do appraisal. You can even do appraisal every 2 weeks because it's one-on-one kind of job. If you notice something, but let me be very clear here. We and our people, we are very perfect in eye service. So how do you get to know when your nanny is doing her job? Is to have a CCTV in your home and let them not know that you have a CCTV at home, so that you use the CCTV as your yardstick for your appraisal. Anyway, let me read some. Now you understand. Let me read. So that point can never be ruled out. What point can never be ruled out? Cost rep. Let me understand the point that can never be ruled out. Even bait is not safe for kids. Bat up, yes, it's not safe for kids. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you totally. Okay, so nothing is impossible. That's my point. Cost rep, I need to understand what your point is so that I can as well share it here, because we are here to learn. Parents should be Even careful with nannies. Me, I won't accept that if my woman tells me she needs nanny. I would rather help her and support her in the little I can do to assist her. Perfect. Perfect. Assist her, yeah. I don't even know how some parents will be comfortable going out for parties, leaving their children at home for real. Yeah, people do that. But what of people who can afford CCTV? Yeah, if you the likes of Davido, I believe they have CCTV in their home, and I hope the CCTV was on at the time of this thing happened, so they can be able to know what really happened to their child. If you cannot afford CCTV, okay, then and you want to have a nanny, you have to be what? Vigilant. You have to pay extra attention. When I mean extra attention, do not take anything for granted. Pay extra attention to every details. Let every detail matter to you. If you know you don't have money to afford CCTV, for some reason my light is going dark. Okay. So if you can't afford CCTV, you have to be vigilant. You have to pay extra attention to what your nanny is doing with your children. If you go out, let's assume you're a businessman, you go to the shop, and then your wife is a teacher, she goes to school. The nanny already knows that at 3:30, madam will be home. At 6 p.m., Oga will be home. Then what happens if you bust into the house at 12 noon? You can come back at 10 to know what is happening in your home. Don't just be so relaxed. You have nanny after, oh, she's a very good nanny. You're paying her and she's doing her work. No. Sometimes get back to your house suddenly, unannounced, and find out how things are going in your home. Let me take water and I'll continue to read comment. I really appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you guys so immensely for being here on this live stream. I wanted to make an update on this because I broke the news as well yesterday. That was my last video on my channel talking about it. At the time, we were all praying that it wasn't true until Gistlover confirmed it that it happened. That was when I came to make the news. But right now, it is real. It happened. Our hearts are broken. We are all in pain. The boy was such an adorable little kid. Everybody came to love Ifani. Everybody. So handsome, so cute. You know, a very promising Davido that, Davido Jr., that was the way I was looking at him when he was alive. Because where he was dancing, if he start dancing, I'll say, okay, this is another Davido in the making. Things like that. This was even what I said a few days ago. During his birthday, his father was trying to, he was dancing and his father caught his attention and the boy stopped dancing. We've come to love this child. We've all come to love this child. So I'm still saying this. If you have a pool, you can afford a pool cover. If you have a pool, you can afford to put a barricade around your pool. Let's forget the fact that this doesn't make it look elegant. Once children start coming, some kind of elegancy and whatever should just be dropped at one corner. And let the focus be on the well-being of the children. Let the focus be on the well-being of the children. For anybody hearing my voice today, if you're a parent, if you have nanny, you're leaving your children at the watch of your nanny. Sometimes, most times, 100% times, be vigilant. Pay attention to details. Make sure you give your children bathe them in the morning, and when you come back in the evening, no matter how tired you can do, if you can give them a bath at night so that you can examine if anything has happened to their body while you were not aware. That is how you start knowing what is going on with your little child and what have you. Let me read another comment here. Joseph said, there was a story I had how a house hired nanny, not knowing the nanny was HIV positive, and the parents were not vigilant enough to pay attention to the nanny, not until their children started falling sick and before they realized that the nanny was behind the three. Yes, I heard that story, Joseph. It happened many years ago in Ikoyi, in Lagos. Yes, I heard that story. I was in Lagos when that story broke. I heard the story. I wept and wept and wept and wept. You know what the nanny, some people are naturally mean. Some people are naturally wicked. These children, they have their toothbrushes. but the nanny will use her own toothbrush and brush those children. Yes, it happened to a family in Lagos, in Ikoyi. I heard the story. Will use her own toothbrush, knowing that she is sick. She will use her own toothbrush and be brushing these children. So when one of them got very sick, they had to run all manner of tests. They said their child was HIV positive. The mother said, how, when, who, how? The kids, they were kids. They now had to take everybody in the house to the hospital. That was when the truth started unfolding. You know, a lot of things have happened to Nigerians so over this nanny thing, but still, we are not learning. We are not learning. It's not everybody you see or everybody that calls you auntie. It's not everybody that have good intention about you and your family. No. Some people that walk the streets are even agents of darkness. Agents of darkness in human form. Thank you, Nkechi Cynthia, for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you for being here. Please, you guys should share me out. Let others join the stream. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you. So that was what happened to that family. I was in Lagos at the time. I wept as though those children, I think their oldest at the time was 10. Hey, Guinea Kanwa, you're back again today. Thank you for being here. Beautiful. Thank you so much. My Facebook fans are really, really, oh my God. Joseph has been here engaging me with this conversation. Thank you so much, Joseph. I really appreciate. Joseph said, me, I will never support my woman to bring in nanny. They can bring nanny, they can bring help, you understand? But make sure you are on the guard. Make sure you are on the guard. Make sure. People should be very careful when they say nanny this, nanny. No, people should, when I mean careful, oh my God, I don't know how I can stress this, but people should be very, very careful. I've been reading, just that I'm speechless. Oh, thank you so much for your support and love. I really, really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Joseph said he will not see you. No, you can, but you have to be very vigilant. Unless if you are there to help your wife. If not, raising children is not a day's job. It's not easy at all. That is it, Vicky. The pool should have been covered. You know, I think they go to the pool maybe almost every day. So, and our people back home, you know, I don't know, something that you're not used to it. We are all forming Oyibo and all of that, but a lot of people are not used to this thing. And there are even some you can use a remote control, and then the pool will cover itself after swimming. You use your remote control, press it, and it covers the pool. You take your towel, you walk into your room, take a shower, and then your day continues. But I don't know. That's why I look at it as an accident. Maybe they never thought about having a pool covering. They never thought about barricading their pool, because if you put, gate around the pool, it doesn't look elegant. I agree. It looks like a clubhouse pool that has a gate. Yeah, I agree. I love elegancy. I love beautiful things. But once it comes to my children, hey, every other thing should hold. I can be that kind of selfish mother. Call me that, I can accept. I was invited to a function this Saturday. When I go, I didn't even look at the invitation, because the woman was giving it. I didn't look at the IV when she gave it to me, because I would have told her outrightly when she gave me the IV, oh, ma'am, it's actually for adults only. Oh, sorry, I can't come because I have children. But I didn't look at it. It was at a party, so I put it in my bag. And in that wedding party, she saw me and my children, because if you're inviting me, if you want me to honor your invitation, make provision for my children. Otherwise, I could go my house, cook that jollof rice, eat them, and drink water, carry leg, put on top of chair. There is no difference. So that is me. I can be very, very intentional about my children. I can be extremely intentional. So I'm going to start with Joseph. Joseph, let me tell you, overseas, our husbands help. When I mean they help, they don't assume oga kpata kpata like Nigerian men do. I am the head of the family. I'm not supposed to do a thing. Your husband in the US can come in and then see that the house was that you guys rushed out in the morning, kids going to school, parents going to work. He will come in, the house is unkept. He will keep his bag and start cleaning before the wife comes in. He does not wait for the wife. Hey, you did not do this. See dishes. He will do that on his own without being told. That's how our men here are. But back home, the girl will be waiting for madam so that they will even quarrel with madam. See how you left the house. You did not even wash the plate. You did not wash the dish. The sink is filled of a dirty plate. Look at baby shoe, everything up and down. Oga, nothing stops you from picking your baby shoes and packing them clean. No be the woman's daughter only or son only. It's our children. Nothing stops a man from helping. But do our men back home help? Maybe you say 1% of them help. Then what happened to the 99% that don't help? Anyway, let me read further comment. Vicky said that pool should have been covered. Absolutely, Vicky, absolutely. Especially when it is not in use. You cover the pool. It is the nanny's fault because the parent had to go out. I said it in my video that mom must go out because a woman on Facebook was blaming Chioma. Yeah, this is not just blaming Chioma. I don't want to put a blame on anybody, but I'm putting a blame on parenting. That's the way I look at it. Why do I say parenting? The pool would have been covered, and then they can also travel with their nannies. Some artists in the US they will pack their whole family for a show. They pack their family for a show. They lodge them in the hotel. When they get back, you at least you see that your child for it. If you're so used to your children, then you not seeing them for a day or two will actually bother your mental state because you're so used to them. You're so attached to your children. So that is another thing people can do. And I'm providing this solution going forward. If you're an artist and you have one child only or two or even three, if you can fly private jet to your event because you have so much money, why not pack all those your children in those private jets? Yeah, they can be crying, mommy, daddy, I know, but they are very important more than any party you're going for. They are number one in the rate of importance. They rank number one. That is me. I could be very selfish when it comes to raising I could be very intentional. I don't care what the world is saying. So far, my kids' interests are first, then I can be able to understand. Vicky said, I don't support that. Chioma must go out. We mothers go out to work. We don't always take the kids around. Yes, Vicky, we don't always take the kids around. I've talked about it here as well. Let me give an example. If you're keeping your child at a daycare, is a licensed daycare, make sure it's a licensed daycare. Don't just go and throw your child on somebody's care because that person in that place is cheap. Make sure it's a licensed daycare. They have license to practice that job responsibility so that in case of anything, you have something to fall back on as in who to hold responsible. We are not saying Chioma should not go out, okay? Vicky, we are not saying. But nothing stops Chioma from packing that her nanny and her kids. They will travel. After all, they all fly private jet. Most of the time, it's their friends that fill up the space. They can as well make it a family trip. Yeah, we are going for a family gathering. You know what they call it? Family. It's not saying club gathering. It's family. So you might as well carry your family. But whereby they can't because they know why they didn't want to go with their son, they should be able to be on the call all the time with these people. There is a YouTuber here, and I'm still answering your question, your comment, Vicky. There is a YouTuber here. We all know her, Nezeville. She says she put up a CCTV in her home when she was a banker working long hours and all of that. With her CCTV, she can be able to monitor what is happening in her home in her absence. Okay? Like I said, people, they have some smart people they locked into not like lock them as in no, they put them, gather smart folks, put them into a place. They call those centers innovative centers. All they do here is to think on how to solve world problem. And this nanny thing, that was how the CCTV came in. catching criminals, CCTV came in. These people are there thinking about how to solve world problem. So when you have CCTV, especially when they don't know about it, you don't go and broadcast to them that you have CCTV, because they're going to take that child off from the CCTV eye, go where the CCTV does not cover, and do whatever they want to do with your child. So you have to let them know, I need you guys to always spend time in this area and this area and this area. Please, at all times, you are monitoring what is happening to your home. You're calling your child, your family. Maybe if you're going on a long distance, put those calls through, often. And then the most important thing, if you have a pool, secure your pool. Hi, beautiful host and everyone. Thumbs up. Thank you so much, Anne Abayo official. God bless you. Real good. It is well. Davido is always with the kids if he's at home. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you, Anna. Bye. Thank you, Joseph Agaha. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Gine Kanwa. You guys are really, really, really amazing. Thank you, Spice It Up, for coming back. Thank you. Joseph said, Big Auntie, no matter the work, I will offer support for my wife in the chores. Thank you. Thank you. And also, when you go out to meet with your fellow young men in Nigeria, let that be a subject of discussion so that they should understand that husbands also help in home chores, not just the wife. All right, Semicon. The story is just sad. Absolutely. Absolutely. The story is just sad, Mel. It is just sad. Honestly, Vicky said Davido's case, he has the money to have helps. So it is not even about what he helps, whether he helps his wife at home. No, yeah, we're not talking about Davido in this case. Joseph was referring to himself in the comment section that he will not do this. Rather, he will help his wife in raising issue. Cosray, plenty question, begging for answers. Some men just put all the house responsibility on their wife. You should be supporting her. Absolutely. I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you on this one. You are really, really awesome. It's also risky to carry them around. I know nothing in life is free of risk. Nothing. Going to store is risk. Going to bed to sleep is risky. Everything about life is right. Life itself is risky, but you just have to do what you have to do. That's just what I'm trying to say here. Gineka Obunna, I will support my wife in the chores, in the house. I won't allow her being overstressed because she's taking care of my home. All right. I'm glad you're saying this, Joseph. Please, my take for you is when you go to meet your fellow young men, let this be a discussion also. Throw in this discussion and then hear opinion of men, of your peers. Then you understand if they are understanding it, that they can be able also contribute in house chores and not leaving every responsibility for the woman. It definitely wears the woman out. No two ways about it. Only God knows what happened, honestly. I don't agree totally with Vicky. Not only the nanny to be blamed, the parents should also be blamed. The thing is, this blame thing, I'm not even here to blame any of them. The only person I'm blaming right now is if their CCTV is not on in the house, if they have one, then I will hold Davido and Chioma responsible. Okay? If they have CCTV, a house like Davido's house must have CCTV. That's the way I say it. It's such a big house, so he should have CCTV for his own security. He's a personality that needs security all the time, so he should have CCTV. I will blame them if that CCTV is not on. Then again, where I hold them responsible is the fact that their pool has no barricade and the pool has no covering. Okay, that's where I held them responsible. And for the nanny should be interrogated to know if she has other agenda apart from taking care of the child. Okay, we are still Nigerians, we are still Africa, we are still diabolic. Anybody can bribe anybody to do anything, and people do all sorts because of money. So they should be thoroughly squeezed for information to come out. Yes, they have cheap cameras that can connect to your phone. Absolutely. They have all of those. So that's where I'm looking at it, and that's what I'm holding on to. Do what you can do as a parent. Secure your pool, put pool coverage, then you know that area is covered. You understand? We can't guarantee everything. It's only God that guarantees life. It's only God that can give you that safety we are looking for. Blaming anybody is not going to bring this child back. Blaming Chioma or blaming Davido will not bring the child back. But the only thing, the prayer I'm praying for them is that they will grieve together, go through the phases of grief and conquer this pain. It's not easy losing a child. Trust me, it's not easy when you lose a dear one. It's not easy, especially this child that you have shared with. It's like they've shared their child with the world. That's why we're all talking about this child. We don't know this child physically. We don't even know him. Apart from the fact that we see him on the news, we see him on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere they go, they carry this child. We can't love this child more than they do. That is given. We can't. My whole essence of this, why I'm calling it a parent wake up, for parents to be more involved. Be more involved in what is going on around your child. When you start making babies, when you start having children, please, a lot of things have to go. You have an elegant staircase, put a gate on top so that your child will not roll on the floor. Yeah, I remember when my second baby came, she's a very, very hyper child. When I mean hyper, I even bought a gate for my patio because my patio is high. So you have about 3 stairs to get down from my patio, which is my balcony at the back. I had to go buy baby gates and put it at the patio. I know people will be like saying that I know they craze. There is one video I was going through recently, and also that my daughter went to that gate. This happened like 7 years ago when she was 1+. She was walking. She wanted to carry her small leg, tiny leg, to cross across the gate. It was captured in the video I was making. I saw it. I say, imagine if I didn't put gate. That's how this girl would have scrolled away. So we should do what we can do. We should be able to do that. Do what you can do and leave the rest to God. All right. And what did I say? Imagine that. Absolutely. Yes. They have cheap cameras that they can connect to their phone. Honestly, they do. They do have cheap cameras. Yeah, they do. It's everywhere in the store in the US, everywhere. The only thing is that the electricity power for US and Nigeria are not the same. So most will buy it from Europe or England because Nigeria has a high voltage, America has a low voltage. And that will bring me to another topic. So I don't even want to go. Considering Nigeria with the high voltage and they cannot supply electricity to their people is another thing altogether. Anyways, I want to thank all of you for being here and sharing this story with me. The last time I lost my 2K in my account, I knew I felt, let me make sure my laptop is connected. Sorry, guys. My laptop is not connected. It was just warning me. So let me plug it on before I lose connection. All right. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to read back. Joseph said, the last time I lost my last 2K in my account, I knew how I felt. Talk more of a whole human being. Joseph. This one cannot be quantified with money. The loss of a child. Is a pain that goes so deep. When I mean so deep, the pain of losing a dear one, it goes extremely deep. It runs so deep and it lives with you for the rest of your life because you constantly remember that child. Constantly. You remember some things that he did that makes you, giggle, some fun moments with him. But when we lose somebody, you understand, we use memories to fill up the emptiness that person left in our lives. We use fond memories, good memories, some happy memories to fill up the gap. And I pray that Davido and Chioma and the whole of Adeleke and Roland's family will find that memory that they will remember Ifeanyi Adeleke with. Honestly, I pray they will find it. Ginika said, like, seriously blame. Like, seriously, blames won't bring back. No. Blames won't bring back the child. No. Some mothers are carefree. I have seen one not knowing what the toddler was what the toddler use hypo as water. You see, not knowing when the toddler use hypo as water. You see, I tell you, some people can be careless. Honestly, some people can be careless. It's just God that helped us. So absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you, Guinea. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys for sharing me out on Facebook as well. Thank you guys for always coming here to support me. It's not easy. This is not the time for blaming Chioma or blaming Davido or blaming anybody, but this is the time for us to allow them to grieve together. And for those people, you know, castigating Davido that he has used his son for rituals, it will not be well with all of you saying that. It will not be well. What kind of rituals is he using for? And then some people will say they don't know what is fighting the two of them. They've planned getting married this December, and then this happened. Anything can happen to anybody. This life is not guaranteed. The only guarantee we have is Christ. It's only God that can give safety. It's only God that can give guarantee. What we can do as humans is to do what is within our ability. And when I mean what is within our ability, if you know what you can do, do it. If you're buying a pool, first of all, think of safety. Okay, think of safety when you're buying a pool. Why do they have in the US, for example, if the kids are going to play in a pool, they must provide at least opekatampe 2 lifeguards at the pool because children are coming there. They don't want stories. They don't want story because nobody is ready for liability. So they try as much as to make sure that everything is secured. At least 2 lifeguards to watch over for those period of hours those children are going to play in the pool, and then they will go. You can't just do things without, making provision for in case of emergency, in case of anything happening. And for the nannies, that their sole duty was to take care of this child, and they failed woefully in that duty. They failed completely, because if at all they were aware of that child's whereabouts within maybe less than 5 minutes of the child disappearing, maybe that child would have been saved. Maybe that child would have been saved. So the question is, what were they doing? What on earth were they doing? That the only job you have in a home to look after, you could not deliver that job. What kind of assessment was used in employing that person? Is that person even qualified to be a nanny in the first place? We don't have parameters to checkmate all of this. You just pick somebody's of a child from the village, or maybe reference. Somebody said this person has lived with this person, lived with that person, lived with that person. Oh, he's a good child, he's a good woman, he's a good madam. Bam, you hire. All right. Till now, I still remember my 3 sisters that had died since over 20 years. That's what I'm saying. He lives with the person for who. Thank you so much, Anna. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Every September 19, I will always remember my own sister who died when I was an infant. You can understand. You can understand. So, guys, if you guys want to jump in to this conversation, let me know. Let me drop the link so that I can hear 1 or 2 things from you guys. And absolutely, thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate every one of you. I really do. I'm dropping the link. Mel Fitness, thank you for being here. I saw your stream. I said I'm going to come, but the time was so close. My sympathies over your loss, Joseph. Honestly, I remember when I lost my brother. Oh my God, I'm happy. I'm not weeping again. When I lost my brother, it was like I felt I was the one that's supposed to go. I was so beaten down. I was so pained. I felt like pulling God from the clouds and sitting down and asking questions. And then my mother was with me. I didn't know what to tell my mother. I refused to cry in front of my mother so that she doesn't, keep crying. And I will come back from when I start going back to work. I will cry from the moment I enter my car to drive to home. I will cry until I get home. Then when I get home, I will pack at my spot. I will cry in the car, or maybe for another 2 hours. By the time I finish crying and getting myself, I will walk upstairs to my home, smiling. Hey, Mama, how are you today? Hey, Mama, how are you? I hope you're okay. You only this, that, 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 that. My mother was just saying, Mash, I didn't know she was checking on me. I didn't know she was noticing the things I was doing. I didn't know she got the message that I've been always coming back, always packing here, crying, and then coming upstairs to pretend. I didn't know my mother got the memo. So one day I came in, she now said, hey, you've gone to your spot to cry. Now that she's been looking at me from the window, that she looks at me every night. That's what I do. I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks. I will cry, I'll be in the car. When I finish, I'll now come back to pretend to her, hey, Mama, how are you? So, that's, you are wicked. That is wicked. That is a bastard. Let me put it that way. Is a bastard. I've had my own share of life, but the death of my brother was the cherry on top of every worst thing that ever happened to me in life. That one broke me into pieces. That is, I don't even know how to explain it. So I can understand Davido's family if they are grieving. I can understand it. That's the most painful thing you can ever imagine than the death of a child. When I look at my mom, I try to brave up so that I could cheer her up. I will call, hey, mommy, I bought this for you. I got this for you. I got this for you. After eating the thing I bought for her hair, she will get back to her quiet mood. Up till today, this happened 13 years ago. Up to today, she still misses her son. It's something that lives with you. But how do we get by? And how would Davido and Chioma get by? I pray they heal together. I pray they grieve together, heal together. It will help bring them back sooner than we think. Spicy said, I remember when I lost my own brother, it was devastating. It was devastating. I completely agree. That is a debt we can never pay. Debt. Oh, it's so painful. It's so sad. But God, in His wisdom, will give them the grace to grieve, will give them the ability to overcome these difficult times. This is most painful thing that could happen to anybody. When it happens to someone else, you understand, you can easily say, hey, yeah, sorry, beleo, my condolences, and you walk past. Ndị Igbo si na ebule ezu onye ọzọ, ọ dịka ebu ukwu nkụ. Mana when it touches you, you understand na ọnwụ na-afụ ụfụ, that death is so painful when it touches you. But if it's somebody's corpse that they are doing a burial ceremony for, you only sympathize with them. But when it hits home, that is painful. It's painful. And that is the whole essence of me coming here today, to tell us parents, no matter how trustworthy you think your nanny is, always do weekly appraisal, weekly assessment. Be on the watch. If you can afford CCTV, get one. If you live in a big house and you have a pool, get a pool covering. Put a barricade for your pool. Do not solely trust your child on somebody's care. Always watch out. Always watch out. People might call you overpossessive. Answer with your full chest. Call me that, I will answer. Always watch out. We learn every day, and let this be a learning curve for everyone. Let this day be a learning curve. Spicy said, my mom didn't get over my brother's death. You see, it's difficult, honestly. It's difficult. It is. Absolutely, host. Somehow I couldn't get my sleep last night. I know the way you were sounding last night. I was like, oh my goodness, God help this lady. I know, I know it's difficult. It's extremely, extremely, extremely difficult. I wish people can understand that. I wish people can just do what they have to do. Play your part and let God do the rest. Play your part honestly. Let God do the rest. That's what I have to say here. It's a wake-up call. If you're that parent that say, yeah, I have a nanny, this, be on the watch. Be on the watch so that you know what happens when you're not there. Be on the lookout. Find out what is going on when you're not there. Oh, Spicy said after 4 years, she took ill and died. She died after 4 years. She too died without any illness but heartbreak. Hi, chai. She died as a very young woman. May her soul rest in peace. Honestly, may her soul rest in peace. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Honestly, ah, that is painful. Oh, it is painful. It is really painful. I don't know how else I can say it, but it's painful. When it happens to you or something close to somebody you know, then you understand how painful it could be. That is very painful. It is painful. Very, very painful. Chioma is going through a lot of pain right now. Yes, that I know. Oh, are you telling me? Oh, first of all, she will start the blame game. That's the first point of grief. You start blaming yourself. If I had done this, if I had done this, I should have done it this way, I should have done it that way. After, let me even pull up 5 stages of grief. Um, oh, it's very painful. It's very painful. It's very painful. Very, very painful. Yeah, 5 stages of grief. The first one is denial. The second one is anger, you bargain, depression, and acceptance. So yesterday they said Davido was crying uncontrollable in the hospital. New Wave Hospital, new is it New Care or New Wave Hospital in Lekki. At this point, they're still believing it did not happen. That's the first stage of grief is denial. The second stage is anger. You're going to be angry at yourself. If I had done it this way, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have gone. I should have stayed. I should have known. I should have this. Will any of these bring back the person? No. Whatever God allowed to happen, he knows why it happened. That's the way I look at it. And the third stage of grief is bargain. You start bargaining with yourself. Hey, okay, what could I have done differently and all of that. The last one, the fourth one will be depression. You go through depression. Then the moment you get to the fifth stage of grief, which is acceptance, accepting that this has happened, how do I get healing? Once you accept your problem, that's when healing comes. And once you start healing, you find out that you can actually pass a message and use that thing that the devil tried to pull you down with and make sure that other people do not fall into that same mistake. Chioma would have forgotten this so soon. Oh. Chioma would not forget this so soon. So sad. I'm not even sure she would want to get married so soon again. They're planning their marriage for um for 2023. That's what they said, 2023. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me even welcome Getting It Well, Getting It Right with Olivia. Thank you for being here. My link is down in case any of you want to say something. My link is down here. I'm gonna paste it again. Um, Thank you for coming, getting it right with Olivia. Chioma will not forget this so soon. So sad. I'm not even sure she would want to get married so soon again. She never really. Oh yes, so there is something Spicy talked about here. She said her mother died at 45. Are you kidding me? Chioma is going through a lot. No mother should go through such pain. My mother went through it twice, so I know your zemena. My mother lost her first son 2 years plus, thereabouts, and then lost the second son at 40. My brother died at age 40, So um yes, Vicky, it will take a long time, if at all. Uh it's so painful. It's so painful. See, for them to really get over this quickly, when they grieve together, if Davido and Chioma grieve together, it will help them recover quickly from this problem. That is what I know. If when two people come together to grieve on a thing, not blaming each other, because the devil is a masterminder, is going to push the blame game. You were the one that employed this nanny, you were the one that brought this nanny. They will fight over that one. I told you to sack this nanny a month ago, you said no, that you have forgiven. They will now start bringing things that happen in their home. But if God can give them that grace for them to grieve together as one as a couple, they will be able to heal better and also find closure, because the moment you get to accepting your problem, that's when healing actually occurs. All right, I have Spice here. Thank you for being here.
Hello,
Thank you so much.
hello, friend. Greetings to you.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to come in long ago, but that they are fixing our road, and my house is very close to the road, so the tractor is making a very loud noise. I won't be able to stream today even, so I'm going to post it in my community later that I won't be able to go live. The noise is just too loud. They're trying to walk on the road, so the
Oh,
big tractor is making so much noise. Yeah, my
okay.
house is just by the roadside. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
So,
so much getting it right with Olivia too. She just came on stage.
oh, okay, Lydia, greetings to you.
Olivia,
Yeah,
welcome so much. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Joseph, thank you for
Greetings.
being here. Massive love for you. Massive, massive love for your support. Always on Facebook, sharing my videos, and always coming to give me some good conversation suggestions here. I appreciate you so much. God bless you, real good. I'm going to come on Facebook one day so that we can connect better. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. So go ahead, Spicy.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, you see, this thing that happened is a devastating news. It's been a long time since I felt this way about someone I don't know. Maybe because he's such a cute little boy. Maybe. Maybe because he's just too sweet and adorable. Maybe. I just find my heart bleeding. I didn't get any sleep last night. I couldn't sleep. I keep seeing the image of this little boy flashing through my head all through the night. I didn't get any sleep. The first time I made a post, I was mad. If you check my voice, I was so angry. It's all the why, and then the blame. Then this early this morning, I think around 3 a.m., it was sinking already. I was already beginning to feel depressed. I couldn't sleep. I just told myself, God, why am I feeling this way? But each time I look at this boy, I say, yes. My heart is reaching out to him, trying to imagine his last moment, how he struggled, calling mommy. Was he able to call mommy? Was he able to call daddy? What the fear, the choking, God, a lot of things, running through my mind. And I can't help but feel pain each time I think about it. And like you were saying, parenting is not just all about bringing out children. Sometimes we have to We have to remember that these children are our responsibilities and do everything within our power to protect them and shield them from hurt and harm way. If only, just that we human beings have a very short memory. We don't remember. It's as if it passes so fast that when something happens, before you say Jack, everybody forgets about it and life goes on. Then another person makes the same mistake. Honestly, any other parent who will make this mistake again, oh, I will curse out that parent.
Yeah,
I don't care if they were there or not, but they should put every protective measure around that pool. Any pool they have, I will curse them and curse them to their fourth generation, because children are not supposed to go this way. They are very innocent. The pain alone this little child went through before dying, it's heartbreaking. I can't imagine it. What does it take? There are different types of protection around pools. It's just that we take things too for granted in Nigeria. Once you have money, it's like you do anything. And I think the government need to begin to make it compulsory for every parent. So long as you have toddlers, you have kids, you must have that protection around your pool. Enough. A child is not just your child, but a public child. It's not your child alone. So you must protect that child. You must. There are various types of protection around it. They have the tarpaulin. They have the hard glass. Okay? They have the glass, and they equally have the rails, which has like a thick glass around it. They equally have the thick net. There are different things you can do with your money. If you have that stupid money, use that money.
Spicy, what you just said now, do you know 3 years ago, during that COVID period, when COVID started, because we are going to start working from home, so I told my husband, summer will soon come. Let's see if we can get some work done in our yard. We can actually add a pool. If you see the approval you have to get to put a pool in your house, because we have children.
Can you imagine?
And there are neighbors' children, and because we live in the suburb, where you have turkeys walk around our places, deers walk around, and you can't kill any of them. You can't.
They don't want you to drown any of them with your pool.
You understand? So you have to make sure you get this approval. My husband said, please, go and buy tarpaulin pool, the one we can fold when we finish. That was the end. So you can imagine if Nigerian government makes it mandatory. If you're gonna have a pool in your home, you have to put safety for the pool. I think it will go a long way.
It will go a long way. Honestly, until they start making it compulsory and then giving serious penalty to any defaulting parent, this thing won't stop. It won't stop. Because we have shallow minds back home. People don't think, they don't care. So long as this money is there, they don't care. But I don't care what you want to do with your life, but protect the life of these innocent ones, these children, these toddlers who are very innocent. They don't know what is going on. They don't know what is happening. They don't know their left from their right. They don't know what is danger. You get? So I'm not blaming Davido and Chioma for the drowning, but I'm blaming them for not doing the right thing.
Yes.
And then for the nannies, those nannies, goodness, if I lay my hands on one of them, I'm going to beat out their teeth all. I will punch out all the teeth they have in their mouth. I will punch everything out. That is, maybe that will make me feel better the way I feel. Right? If I catch any of the nannies, I'm going to make sure their teeth all fall out. Why would you? This is your job. The only job you are being paid for is look after this little cute angel. And then you are busy making calls or maybe benching in the other room. They may be high and drinking and maybe having the fun of their lives in Oga Madam bed.
They should learn from this, all nannies. They should learn from this. They should learn.
This thing is not 1 hour thing. It's not 30 minutes. It's not 1 hour before they found this boy. It took a long time. So how come for this long period of time, nobody looked for this boy? Let me allow Olivia to speak. I'm so pissed.
Don't worry, you are so angry right now. I can see.
I didn't sleep. I'm so angry. I wish maybe I could get one of the nannies, give them good punch, maybe to make me feel better, even if it's not going to bring a fanny back.
Seriously, the death of this cute boy Hi, the boy, I like admiring this boy. Each time I see him, I
Honestly.
just be looking at him like this, running around, so lovely, so cute. But what I want to talk about, this my talk goes to nannies. You know, nannies, they present things against their madams, their ogas, that they are always the innocent ones. Now, I think this case of Ifeanyi has opened their nyash, because your madam employed you, or your guy employed you to come and take care of a little child, and
Mm-hmm.
you are busy making call on duty, and they're asking you, you are telling them that you left the baby with the chef, and the chef is saying he left the baby with you. Can you imagine?
Wait, wait, wait,
When
wait. Olivia,
that
slow
child
down,
is
slow
the
down. I've not
reason.
heard anything again. What did you say?
I said they were arguing when they asked that Joy, who did she leave the baby with? When they asked her, she said she was making calls. She now left the baby with the chef. The chef now said no, that he himself was busy, that he left the baby with Joy. So who is not telling us the truth?
Wait, is
And
it the chef's responsibility or job to watch over Ifeanyi?
that is what that
Nanny,
is.
it is not one nanny Ifeanyi has. Ifeanyi doesn't have one nanny. At least
But
there are two
the
in the
person that
house
was with
because they
him,
run shifts.
the person that was with him at that particular point in time was Joy.
Hmm.
Joy
Was
is
Joy.
Alan Apple Joy. Imawenji Alan Apple Joy. Chef has no business with Ifeanyi. It is not the chef's responsibility to watch Ifeanyi. It is you, the nanny.
That
So what kind of stupid call is she
yes,
making for a long time?
yes. That's my point. You were employed because of that boy. That is why you are in Davido's house. That is why he's paying you. And you are telling us that you were making call. Like, proud enough to say that you are making call and left the child that brought you into that house. The child that, okay, they said he has this thing in talking, he has not started talking. And you know that he has all this, that he has not started talking, that he cannot do this, he cannot do that. Then you left him and continue answering your call. You left him without even checking for him until this stuff now happened. For me, that
Olivia,
job,
thank you
they
for
really need to
coming up
question that
here.
lady very well.
Olivia, thank you for coming up here with this
Thank you
insight,
so
because
much to the
I've
real.
not no, I've not even heard anything else about the interview. That brings me to my point. When I say madams, know the kind of people you employ as nanny. Do not solely depend on your nanny. Do more. Dirty your hands with your children. Do more. You see, Joy was busy on the phone, maybe talking to her boyfriend, which
Who
is
I'm
her
else?
telling
health.
you. Maybe
Is
Then
her
rolling
you
on the
left.
boyfriend
bed,
telling her that
carrying
if
her
he
leg
long, he
up,
saw her?
that she's answering call.
Imagine answering call. Can't you be answering call and then lock the door and be with the child in the room?
Seriously, lock the child, make sure the child is there with you, or leave the call. Leave the call. You were not employed to Davido's house to come and answer
Even
call.
if she will answer call, Ifeanyi has a playground. Ifeanyi has his play portion in the house. You take Ifeanyi to that play portion where he plays and you know that place is secured and protected. You stay there and make that stupid call while watching over him. Like, what? Does Ifeanyi even stop you from making a call? Your eyes is on the child while you're making a call.
No, okay. The major thing she said she left to answer a call. Yes. See this thing now is that she said she left to answer a call. So they're not asking what kind of call did you leave to go and answer?
Mm-hmm.
What call? Who called you? What kind of call will you leave the baby that is with you to go and answer? That means there is something that maybe children, though he cannot talk, but he will hear. Do you get? And if he should hear anything that is somehow, he will start being scared of the person. Do you get? So why did you, if there is nothing fishing, why did you leave the child to go another place to go and answer call?
Wow. Wow.
There is more to see
Maybe
that
the call
nanny.
she was
That
answering, and
nanny.
those that are paying them to get information from Davido's house. It could be
I
the
am
call.
telling you. I am telling
Who
you. This
knows?
is what
It
I
could
talk
be
about.
bloggers even. It could be
Mm-hmm.
bloggers even.
Yeah. It could be the call.
It's sad. It's sad that this innocent boy died out of negligence. That nanny For me, she should be locked in there and the key thrown into the lagoon. Trust me. It's not going to bring this boy back better. It will serve as a lesson to other minders. If you are taking up this job, then
For
make sure you take
20
it up with
minutes.
full responsibility. Me?
For
Make
20
sure you are
minutes.
doing
You
the
can't
job.
do it. Tell the person you cannot do this job. If you can't do it, tell the person. This seriously, this thing is so annoying. When they show their face, I felt like giving her one this thing from my end. Eh?
I say it's not that there may be Oyoya was telling you yesterday. I said, thank God Davido didn't lay his hand on any of them. By now, gonna go rest in peace. Trust me.
Tell you.
It's
Did
what
you
I
hear
can
the story
do.
Linda Ikeji said? Linda Ikeji said Davido ran mad. He literally tore his clothes and nearly ran to the streets, and then he was held.
Hey,
Yes.
try. He loved this boy so much. He loved him.
Welcome, Rosie. You know, when I talk about this thing, people will say, because we are overseas, we can't afford nanny. That's why we are talking about this. If you can raise your child by yourself, Biko, raise your child by yourself.
Exactly.
If you can, do that dirty job, clean the diaper, do that, and do it with your full chest. See, this issue of giving somebody that responsibility, you don't even know how nice that person is doing that job. If they are doing it with their full chest, or this one they'll be doing as if they are doing you a favor while you're paying them salary. What kind of call would Joy step aside if the call is not a secret call?
What kind of call is it?
What kind of call? And
that
then
will make
this is a boy that can walk. You just carry the boy and answer the call. The boy is not hear what you're talking.
Host, if Davido or Chioma were to be around, will she pick up that her stupid phone to make a call or receive a call?
Now, I talk about eye service.
Because while on duty, you can't answer call. Sorry, I'm shouting. The noise is at the background. There is so loud.
You're fine.
If they have time for call.
Thank you.
You can't even pick your call while on duty. You can't.
Yes.
You can't even answer call while on duty.
It is wrong.
What you just said is because you realize what it is to be at a job. But these people, they don't even know that nanny they're doing. They don't realize they're being paid for that job. So that's why they can answer their call anyhow. See, phone call can get you sacked in your place of employment in overseas. Just phone call that you were answering call while you're supposed to be at the one. They will give you first warning, second warning, next one, the write off. You're gone. Anyway, let me welcome Rosie Ketch. Rosie Ketch, welcome to the conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Hello, Spicy Talk. Hello, Livia. Thank you so much.
And it's a wake-up call for all of us. That's just what we are discussing today.
It's crazy. This whole situation.
I'll be at the background, please. I can barely hear anything here. I'll be at the background. The noise is just too much.
Okay. Thank you so much, host. Thank you.
So I was supposed to even do a live stream today on my other channel, but it was just too much for me. I was like, I even called my husband. Like I was like, when he comes back, I want to do a live stream. So if he can rush up and come back home, I made his food, everything ready for the live. I just couldn't handle it. I just said no. Let me just let it go and just make videos where I can just be, this one like. My husband is a very quiet person. So when I talk about this issue with him, like since morning, he has just been saying, hey, like, hey, God, like, and my husband and my son are very close. Like, I literally call him your father's son. Like right now, he's not even with me. He's his father's child. So and Louis is just 2 years plus. So I've just been looking at my child since today. I'm like, so Chioma is literally going to come back home and not see her son. Go back to the room that I'm sure they've decorated to standard for him. Look at all his stuff. I'm thinking of all the birthday gifts he has not opened. All the things they thought they were going to do over time, and she would enter his room and he would not be there. Listen, even if you don't even have to be a parent to feel horrible for them. Like it's just a whole messed up situation. And with this whole thing about then I just feel like outright it was just negligence. It was
Yeah,
just negligent,
yeah,
because I was watching a few clips today of children that were falling into pools and were rescued, and what it shows was that that boy struggled for a while.
yes,
He didn't just they didn't look for him immediately,
yes.
and when it comes to parenting, nobody is perfect and everything. So I don't want to say it cannot be your own child or anything, because my
It can
issue was
happen
that
to
he
anybody.
wasn't rescued on time. He wasn't rescued on time, obviously. That's to show how long they left him.
They said for
I
over 20 minutes. That's what
imagine,
Brenda Ikeji wrote.
like when I'm inside the room, like when I want to make this my voiceovers for my other channel, because of Louis, he's always these days he's when he's watching cartoon, he's shouting. So even if I'm in another room, you can hear his voice, even with my mic. So when I'm in the room making my videos, I'm not even trying to act like a perfect mother or anything. If I'm making video and I don't hear his voice, I pause it and run. Why are you not talking? Why am I not hearing your voice? Like, I want to know why he's quiet. You understand? And that's how toddlers are. People always say that if a toddler is quiet, that's the more reason why you should check up on them, because if they are okay, you can hear their voice. So I'm wondering what the person was doing for that long, didn't hear his voice. And like I saw, my cousin was telling me that she saw a post on Facebook. I don't know how true it is, that Nanny was with him. Nanny went to make a call, came back, saw he was with Chef. And I'm like, is this thing you said, sis? People don't understand their job description. How is Ifani with Chef? Is Chef's job Ifani in a house that in the kind of wealth Davido has? I'm sure that, or the nannies are supposed to be people that are very, very trained for their job. It's like telling a doctor that the child is with the nurse. If it is doctor's shift, it is supposed to be a doctor.
No, no,
If you are
nurse
looking for
is
the
even
patient,
close
is
to
it
that.
doctor's time or nurse's
Rose,
time?
nurse is close to doctor. You can say telling a doctor that the child is with
Cleaner.
a janitor, the cleaner.
Exactly. So it's like, this thing, and I feel like also the thing is that it just feels so bad. I feel like this whole thing is going to break Davido very much, because he looks like a
It
very
is,
kind person who has given
it
people
is.
very, very big leverage. So there are no rules. You understand? There are no rules. Anybody does what they want to do, because maybe he's just an easy fellow, jolly good fellow. Anybody can do what they want to do. Because waiting carry Chef holy Fanny. Waiting Chef they do with Ifan. Like, why is Nani thinking Ifan is with Chef? That means that is how you do this whole job when Madam is not around.
Thank
You are
That's
you.
the one
the
supposed to be with Ifani, and now Ifani is with Chef for that long. So that means if you as the madam now trust the nanny with your child, you cannot come back and vow that my child was not even abused, because you
Thank
were not
you.
with him for 20 minutes. You
Mhm.
were not with him for 30 minutes. So that means if you say, if I say anybody touch my picking, you say no, madam, but you were not with him. How are you even sure? So this whole thing is just so painful. And I remember when it happened to the band's child a few years ago, the thing was
Yeah,
that the band's wife was even at home. So
yeah.
that's why I don't want to talk about this whole nanny thing or not. The band's wife was at home. But I know that sometimes, okay, like some people live in bigger houses and everything. So it might be, I think that the issues here was not really the whole nanny. I saw a post online though where they say, "Oh, you are the only one that can take care of your child by yourself," and I understand that totally. But we also know that there are cases where the mother was there and the child, fell into harm or something. Toddlers are something, no. Toddlers, like today, I was now thinking, my child is not going to school now. When he starts school next year, I was now thinking, how much can you even protect them when they're not with you anymore? It's just the grace of God and your own carefulness, really. You know, I one of my big dreams is actually to start like a catering business where I like to cook. So I want to cook. But I didn't. My cousin was asking me a few months ago, and she was like, you're not cooking yet," and I'm like, "No." It was like, "Well," I said, "Louis." And some people are very insensitive to think that maybe as a woman you don't want to do some kind of thing because of your child. But I know I've tried to cook in the kitchen, and I see how I'm struggling with my 2 years old. Not me go pour am hot oil where they try to find money. It's not me.
Yeah.
If God keeps me alive, I can always cook later on when he's bigger. But for now, everywhere in the
You
kitchen
know,
I'm cooking.
Rosie, what you just said now, some people will say you're just giving an excuse. Are you the only
Exactly. At
woman
the point I
that's
have to.
had a baby? That there
Yes.
is nothing they will not call you. Let
I'm
me
telling.
give you
Yeah.
a striking
Yeah.
example. When my second baby was about 8 months old, either 8 or 7, within that range. So my kitchen and my living room is just from my kitchen. You're seeing living room. There is no barricade. You understand? It's just open concept. So I put her in front of the television and then put a cartoon for her. She can't walk. She can't come out from her walker. You understand? make sure everything was secured, and I went to cook. The next thing, I was in the kitchen doing my thing. Somebody held me up, pulled me on my cloth. Asked me, till today, I don't know how my daughter got down from the walker.
Just
Till
imagine.
today, and the walker was fasting.
Yeah.
I asked myself question. I now ran to the walker. The walker was still, standing upright. He did not fall. I said, God, what happened? Why am I confused? What is happening? I now had my child. I remove all her clothes immediately, start checking to see if she fell or if anything happened. My carpet, my floor is a carpet floor, and it's double layer carpet. But still, that thing set me on fire. I was like,
Yeah.
no. Since that day, even if I'm cooking, I'll bring the worker close to my kitchen.
Yeah.
So you can't even do enough by your own,
Yes.
on your own. Then talk more of nanny that is a secondary person, maybe
I'm telling
somebody
you.
from one community that you've never heard about.
I felt guilty for the longest time until one day
I
I had
want
to
to
ask
say
myself.
something about
Yeah.
what Rosie Tech talked about. Rosie
Okay.
Tech, you talked about that we don't really need to, put the whole blame on the nanny. That even when a mother was there, that kind of incident still happened.
No.
But
That's not what I mean. That's not what I meant. Maybe you did not understand me. But just talk. I can hear you.
okay, why me personally? Why I'm talking about the nanny? Why I'm talking about the nanny? Had it been that the nanny did not answer call, maybe she was not on call, maybe she was doing something else and she was carried away, it would have been better than to come and tell us that you were answering call.
Yes. Yeah, I feel
How
like
can
if
you
she was
tell
not
us you
very
were answering call?
distracted, she would have found that boy earlier. Maybe they would have done something. He would have been fine after a while. But it shows he left. She left him for a very long time. Obviously, she did. She left him for a very long time.
That means she made that call for like 20 good minutes. She was
Crazy.
answering for someone that is on duty, that is taking care of a little boy that
It's sad.
cannot talk.
It's so sad. Like I was talking about how I felt guilty for the longest time until I had to ask myself, are you doing something? Yes. And I was telling my friend the other day, she has a child who's like 7 months, and she was like, she's looking, she's trying to get to her hands to do something. I was like, I'm not saying you should not do something, but women need to also realize that that child you are raising, you are doing something.
Yes.
If he is a runner, that child you are raising, you are doing something. And I'm so grateful.
Yes.
Like my husband is very supportive. When Louis was smaller, when he just comes back home, I'm like, oh yeah, carry your child, because I literally need to rest from taking care of this boy for these few hours. Raising children is a lot of work, and I think
It
that
is.
most times women have this thing where they feel like, oh, raising a child is not work enough. And that's one thing, that's one reason why I didn't start like cooking, because I know that if I was cooking by now, maybe I would have poured my child hot water, because he's everywhere. He's everywhere. Today I literally hijacked him out of the kitchen and closed the door. I was like, shift before the side, pour the hot water. It's just,
Rosie,
yeah.
let me pause you there. I listened to that your video you made
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
You said knowing Nigeria, there is the back doors are usually very heavy for the boy to have pushed through and all of that.
Yeah.
Then that means that door was never closed. It was never shut.
Exactly. And people were saying, people who have seen his house said that the door is gigantic.
Or maybe they were outside. You
Yeah.
understand? When the call came, she now walked away to answer that call and never came back to that place they were. Because
Crazy.
it simple boils down to, like you say, double negligence, in the sense
Yes.
that the girl did not realize her job responsibility.
Yeah.
The number one thing that took you to Davido's house is to watch over that child.
Mm-hmm.
And you failed on doing that. And then when you what kind of call, let me even say, what kind of call will you be making that you don't want somebody else to hear? If one is a 3-year-old, you can carry him and be making the call. He doesn't understand what you're talking about. You get what I'm saying?
So sad.
But when the devil has already done his calculation well on the next day, you understand?
And I was telling my husband that
that's
one sad
another
thing
thing.
is that
It will even be someone else, not even people in that house, but
I was telling my husband that the sad thing with this matter is that we might never know what really happened.
Yes.
If there's no CCTV cameras in that house, that means the girl might be trying to save her head. Chef
they
is
say
trying
there
to
is
save his head.
they're
Everybody's
taking
trying to save their
CCTV
head.
for
So
investigation.
we might never know the real thing that happened. We might never know. Somebody said maybe they ended him and threw him in the pool. I do not know.
No,
They
they
are,
couldn't have done that.
yeah, Abby. But
That
my
they
point
wouldn't
is
have
that
done that.
since there's no camera to show what happened exactly, nobody will come out and say this is what I did. You understand? They want to exonerate themselves, so we might never know the full story. And I just
And
said that it's so sad that the parents might never even have closure from this whole situation because they
and
don't know what happened.
then again, if you remember
Yeah,
that this boy struggled in the pool to survive,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
most another painful part for him
Yes, the
because
end of his life must
the
have
end
been
of his life
traumatic.
was tragic. You
Yeah.
understand?
Time.
Very
God
tragic
forbid.
one. And then you tell me
Hey,
they have eight
Eight.
people in the house.
Eight
Eight.
people
what
plus the
are they
nanny,
not
nine.
doing?
Nine adults. Like
What are they
the,
doing? They should send all of them home. They should all go home.
You
it's
know,
crazy.
sometimes it's not good to go with the crowd. Though. It's better sometimes solo is good. Because how can you
Yes.
have eight people in the house and you went for an event, nobody's there to know what is happening to your child?
Can you
And
imagine?
then
I
when you
just know
come
that
back,
this
all of them will
situation
be hailing you. Hey,
is going to change Davido's personality because he's an open person. I was telling my cousin today that I was telling her that I just hope that as sad as it is, this boy might just be the sacrifice that saved his father's life. Because if they can do this thing to this boy, the father might be the next. Sadly, he
yeah.
might just be the one that the father might use to learn his lesson and just maybe
And be
cut the
more
crowd.
careful.
Because it's like even if you see American rappers that always carry crowd, one person is always being shot, one person is always done, something is always happening. Because when a lot of people know your business, you don't know who to hold responsible. Eight people in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said eating chef cheese food every time, eating say our wife, and you could not look after his child for how many seconds.
Hey,
Everybody was not hearing his voice. Nobody could ask where is Tiffany for how long. And I've seen videos of the boy. He's very hyper. So there's
Yeah.
no way you cannot say you did not hear his voice. So where was he? How come nobody was asking? Eight people.
hey,
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
it's crazy.
8
It's
people.
unbelievable,
It's
honestly.
crazy.
I don't even, sometimes because we believe so much in this spiritual thing from back home, sometimes you start wondering who is chasing these people, who is against the two of them being together.
I'm
Telling
telling
you.
you.
You can think of anything you can think of,
I
honestly.
did not rule out anything. No, I did not rule out anything. I said everything could
Sincerely,
join.
let me tell you guys why
Hmm.
I made this comment. There is this guy that died here. He drowned in the pool, grown man. His mother was suffering in Nigeria and they managed to bring him here. So he finished his nursing degree, made the best graduating result in school. That he finished in May. The best hospital in the world hired him and brought him to my state, Mayo Clinic. This boy came to my state and then resumed work from university. He resumed work. That means they are going to do everything for him. He was the best graduating student, got the best job. That same summer, 2 months after, this boy died in a pool. 2 months after, then you now say which village people
I'm
pursued this thing?
telling you.
So it's what it is. You understand? We don't know this spiritual thing, so I try to like leave it to the ones I know I can verify
Yeah.
with facts. You
And I
understand?
watched this thing. I was watch True Crime Daniel today where he was talking about how these things happen, but maybe because people are not really popular, we don't really hear about it.
Mhm.
It's not even some people are saying, oh, so I will not have a pool again. And somebody said, because your neighbor get accident, no me say no go buy moto. You know,
Yes,
that kind of thing. We've seen people who don't have pools, but the children drowned in a bucket in the house,
yes,
in a bowl, in something. So the whole thing is that I think sometimes when something happens to people, instead of taking lessons, sometimes we're trying to say it can never be me, it can never be me, without taking precautions to make it not to be you. You don't need
Mhm.
to have a pool. You can have a bathtub. I've heard that children drown in bathtubs.
Yes,
There are tragic incidences like, but because Davido is very popular, we hear of it. And I think somebody was saying that some parents lose their children in a tragic way, but because of the guilt, they don't announce it. I know then when I was growing up, there was this couple. They think they said, this Jedi Jedi that their
yeah,
child had Jedi Jedi now. So they said that the local native medicine man said they should put the child over hot water. Apparently, the mother was holding the boy and the father was not doing his own job well. Something, the boy fell into the hot water. So his bum like peeled and all those things. So after a while, they couldn't treat him and I think he passed from the pain and everything. But that guilt, they had that guilt for a very long time. They had other children, but they didn't talk about it so much. Just people around, family members that knew about what really happened to that child. So imagine maybe a child that drowned in the bathtub. Their parents might not talk in Nigeria because of, public would say, where was the mother? Carelessness sometimes, or negligence, or mistakes. It's just a lot. I feel so bad because why I was talking about nanny when you talked about raising children was that I don't know. I was telling my husband I saw Chi and Davido in London, I think a few weeks ago, and I could see somebody who looked like their nanny behind them in the hallway when they were taking pictures. So maybe the nannies travel with them when they are traveling. But
Of
it's like,
course.
let's say a mother who has a nanny decides to go to the market. We don't know where Chi went to when the thing happened. Maybe she went to the market. Sometimes we leave our kids and go somewhere. What if she didn't have a nanny, or she had a nanny who just came to do, okay, like let's say you want to go on a date with your husband and you brought like a paid nanny for 2 hours, you know? So it's all these things. I don't want to, that's why I don't want to
See,
talk
Rosie,
about.
I might be
Yeah.
that selfish mom. To be honest with you, if I tell you my life, you'll be say, wow. I don't go for anywhere without my children, especially parties. The only thing that will take me out is work. And work, I've already made an arrangement with school. You understand that they go to
Mm.
after school. Another thing I'm going to say, when my daughter was, I stayed at home for my children to get to a reasonable extent. People will not believe it. I live in the America. I never worked. And my first daughter never went to daycare until straight to school.
And I
Okay.
think, sorry to cut you, since you didn't work for that moment, I know that, okay, now things are, it's not even a long time ago, but my
No,
point is that
let
maybe
me
you
let me
should
let
push
me
this
let me let me
agenda
finish.
too.
The second one, I started work when that second one was a year and 5 months. So I
Okay.
started working. If I tell you, if I had peace of mind solely at
Yeah.
that time, I did not. It was a tough decision. I couldn't get, the mind to like send them. I had to bring my sister-in-law to do another 8 months with me. So my baby became 2 years plus. You understand? Before
Mm-hmm.
she ever started going to Nanny's place. And then from Nanny's place, it was about six months. Well, the moment she turned 33 months, I put her to school, to private school. Because I couldn't just deal. Each time she comes back, I will go and supervise her body, ask her questions. Because my kids, they start talking on time. One plus, they're already talking cha 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 everywhere. So they will tell
Mm-hmm.
you, this person did that to me, this person. But my first child never went to daycare, never went
Mm-hmm.
from my home to straight to school. You understand? And by the time she was starting school, the second baby came. Then
Mm-hmm.
now that when they were growing, I can afford not to go for any party because of my children. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care how many parties I've missed. People like, so for some time they'll be like, we don't come out. I say, see, most of the engagement, once I see on the invitation card, adult only, you did not invite me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't come to your party and leave my children with someone else. I will tell the host, I'm sorry, I can't come. This is my reason. So when my community understood that we can't live without our children, me and my husband, they will make reservation for my children
Mm-hmm.
in that party. Sometimes you have to let something be.
Mm-hmm.
This last Saturday, somebody was doing a retirement party. I say, and the woman gave me the invitation in another wedding. I didn't look at the invitation. I just put it in my purse. When I go home, I say, oh, adults only. I told my husband, I'm sorry, I'm not going. He said he's not going to. I say, not today. The kids are reasonably good. You have to go. My daughter is 12. The law says you can't leave them alone, even at 12 years old. I can't
Mm.
leave them alone in the house. You get what I'm saying? So if you're intentional, you're doing the best you can.
Yeah.
First, you live for God. If you have a pool and you're making babies, the first thing that will come to your mind is safety.
Yeah.
But Nigerians don't. Because if you do that shenanigans here, the state will fine you. You get what I'm saying? If you
Yeah.
have toddlers, that security, that child does not just belong to you or Davido and Chioma. It belongs to you, and the state have a hand or say in your child. If Nigerian government can start today to make regulation regarding pool, if you want to put pool in your home, make sure you do what you put a barricade. It will help. They
Mm-hmm.
should have this regulation in place. Okay, think about it. If you go to hotel pools or clubhouse pools, they have gates around the pool area. Why do
Mm.
you think, if you go to Lagos Country Club, they have gates around the pool area? Why do you think they do that? Liability, nobody wants to pay liability. So, if you're entering this zone, your child should be under your care.
Mm.
But we don't do all of those back home. And I think it's a wake-up call for the government to chip mouth into this thing and then make those regulations. If you're
Yes.
building a house with a pool, you have to have this if you come for house inspection. I believe there's
Very.
house inspection in Nigeria after if you finish building. The government will give you approval, right? I hope they still do those things.
I
When
think it's
Yeah.
because that.
when those
Yeah.
things are happening, that's when they will check that list. Okay, they have pool safety for this house, pool safety for that house. When the Banji zone happened, the Banji's house was very elegant. From the bedroom, you can walk into the pool. I loved it, but I loved it as a single lady. Okay, the moment I became a mom, everything changed. You have to start thinking for
Yes.
not just yourself, but for your child. This kid, 2 days ago, my daughter's channel, Rosie, I was trying to see the kind of shorts I can put there because shorts are selling in that channel. So I went through my archives and I saw one my daughter was busy chasing me around. Mommy, mommy, mommy. Just the second I said, okay, I've given you attention. Let me give you a little sister. This girl walked up to the patio because my patio, I have gates, child gate.
Mm.
This child gate you put in stairways, staircases. I have a child gate. I'm not supposed to put a gate there. It's awkward. It looks ugly. But I have to put a gate there. And that gate is still there right now. You understand? I have
Mm.
she was 1+. She was walking from the video. I wanted to post that video, but I saw she was making an attempt on raising her leg so that she can cross the gate. I say, if I post this one, YouTube will flag me immediately. That was the end. And I did not see when that happened because I was
Mm-hmm.
talking to baby, the first child. So there are
Child.
things that you cannot do, but there are a lot of things you can do as a parent.
Yes, true.
What?
I was saying that you should maybe try to also push. I think more women need to encourage women to that it's fine, to stay at home, to choose to raise your child. You understand? Because I think right now women are beginning to shame their fellow women for choosing to, raise their children, and
Honestly.
it's a problem. And one thing that really
Why?
encourages me,
Why would they do that?
I have an auntie. She's late now. She passed last December last year. Her daughter is my favorite cousin, like my closest friend. Like my auntie stayed at home. She chose to raise her children. Her husband still said it today that she went to school. She had a master's at I think 91 or so. She could have gotten lecturing jobs when new schools were opening up in the east, but she said no. She wanted to teach in a primary school. She wanted to raise small children, and she wanted to also have time to come back home for her kids. That the literal joy of her life is raising her children. Even up until now, my Louis is 2 years, going to be 2 years, 5 months now. Do you know I have to explain to people why Louis did not start school in September? And I'm like, what is he going to school to go and do?
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, I made a video about it now.
Ah,
Government did not give me a job. I'm still trying to hustle my hustle from the house. I'm fine. I'm working from the house. I have time for my child. Do you know that I have to explain every time why Louis is not in school? I'm like, and they say, why is he not? I said, what is he going to school to go and do? Let him be here, let me be feeding him in the house. And people don't even understand it because in Nigeria, because of maybe competition, I understand with those parents that have to go to work. But some people, they don't have to do anything. They just want to feel like they can afford to pay school fees or their children can go to school and all those things. And me, I've always wanted my child to go to school at least when he's 3 or closest to 3. You understand? So I didn't want September. He just turned 2 in June. And I said, no, he was still too small to go to school. If he goes now, I'll be in the house looking, waiting for him to come back. There's no point. Let me wait till next year before
yeah.
he starts school. And I've been explaining why Louis is not in school.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you.
Hey,
Somebody will call you. So what are you doing now? I'm like, I
well,
have a whole child. I'm raising a child now. You understand? And okay, to see all other things I'm doing, I'm always busy from morning to night. YouTube channels, Facebook, my crayfish, my thrift, everything I'm doing together. People still feel like you have to literally leave the house every time for them to feel like you are useful to yourself. You understand? And what are you doing? What are you doing? So women now these days, a lot of women, I keep on saying that I know women who all they want to do is raise their children. I'm so grateful that there are things that people can do from the house, and
Mhm.
still
Yeah.
raise your children. Some
Yeah.
women, all they want to do is to raise their kids, and you cannot shame them. It's like a woman saying, I want to be married. Some women desire marriage. You cannot shame somebody who wants to just raise kids. It's a
Yeah.
whole job. If not that now you cannot trust people, and some men be doing anyhow. If you're married to somebody and the person is going out to work, it's like I think what was this, American artist, she divorced her husband. Her name starts with K, not Katy Perry. The other lady that does American Idol, I love her. She's kind of plumpy.
Is it Jennifer Hudson?
No, 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 no. She's a white lady. She's white. She has a show.
Okay, okay. Oh, she's an artist too.
Yes.
I can't even remember her name again, but she's a rock
Yeah. When
rock
she broke up with
musician.
her husband, she was the one that paid him this thing, what they call it, because he was the one staying at
Anomalies,
home more,
yes.
and she's the
Anomalies.
one making more money. And I think that when we have laws in Nigeria that makes men, even if you are the one going out to work, because that woman is in the house, digging ahead for those children. If you decide that you want to work out with a new fresh skirt, the woman is not going empty-handed. I think because of all this empty-handed thing that women really want to go out, do all this stuff, and
Yes,
before
yes,
you know, yes,
yes,
nanny, nanny, nanny all the time. And labor is cheap in Nigeria. So even people that
Labor is
are
cheap.
earning 10 naira are looking for nanny.
Ah,
At a point,
yes,
when I my baby was how many years, people will say, don't you have a help? I said, I don't need a help. I don't need a help. Like right up until now, I don't have a help because my husband knows that Louis is his responsibility. We don't do like, oh, he's helping out. He knows that I bat my baby in the morning. My husband bats him in the night. In fact, he bats him more than me. We don't share work. We know how they do. Now they come back, oh, but he's the one that used to even work more than me on that boy's head. I say it.
you see?
He works more than me. I'm the one with the boy in the house. So it's always easy for me to not have a help. I always say that one reason why Nigerian women love helps. The truth is that Nigerian men, a lot of them don't help their wives at home. They
Yeah.
want housework to kill her. So every time
yes.
she's
Rosie,
working,
not only
working,
that,
working.
not only that, even the
Yeah,
husband themselves, they shame their wife. Like to
yeah,
them, they really want their wife to stay at home and take care of the kids. But when couples have a misunderstanding, then you
yeah.
start using her staying at home to talk to her. Maybe you
Yes, you
make
don't
a
give her
statement, all
money
you do
even
is
when you
sit
have.
at home, eat, get fat, So
Yeah,
this
true.
one will start looking for a job. She wants to go and work
Yeah,
because they're using it.
yeah.
Please, fathers, we are pleading with you guys as well. I know that
Yes,
fathers are trying. You guys are
yes.
trying, but please mind the kind of words you use for your wife. That is
Mm-hmm,
what will
mm-hmm.
prompt her to say, I want to look for work. And even if she's asking you for money, she doesn't need to ask you for money. As she's staying at home taking care of the children, make sure you put something in her account, no matter
Yeah,
how small it is.
yeah.
Just put something there so that she will be satisfied. As in when she's on around to buy something or to help her mother or something, she will see something to give to her mother. But
Mm-hmm,
in a situation where she's not seeing anything, her mother is
mm-hmm,
calling her, my daughter, I need this, and you're not giving the mother,
mm-hmm.
and she cannot even help her mother again. Just
Mm-hmm.
imagine that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what is
It's
making most women to look for job.
it's true.
Go and call a nanny, say, nanny, come and sit down, let me go and look for work. My mother cannot stay there and be suffering. Do you get?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. I have somebody join me from Facebook here. He's a young man, and then
Hi.
he was saying how he will help his wife. I said, okay, that I need him to pick it up as a conversation when he sits with his fellow men because we know our people now.
Mm-hmm.
Rosie's husband is an exception. He falls within the 1% of Nigerian men.
Let me even tell you, sorry to cut you. When I wanted to get married, when I tell them my spec, they will laugh at me that you're looking for Americana Nigerian man. I told my mother came from Mugo and she was like, Ogini name. I said, I don't see my American and Nigerian American man. No. Because my husband literally, I sit with him on the dining, he eats and carries my plate. My
You
mother-in-law
see?
will come to the house, my mother-in-law will eat, my husband will clear his mother's plate and go and wash it.
You
My
see?
mother-in-law came in February and she was telling me that she used to call me Rosemary. She said, Rosemary, is she to go this man to your spec? I say, I don't do everything finish. She said, you didn't even enjoy. I said, I'm enjoying. And she's
You
very
see?
nice. She was even happy. She was so happy that she saw what her son was doing. She did not come and say, what is going on here? She was very happy. He
You
was
see?
changing diaper. He was washing poo and she was like, what is going on here? You understand that she's so happy with that. She likes what is
You
happening
see?
here. Before I come and use work and wound myself.
You
So
see?
for me, if I ever leave the house to walk out of the house, One thing me and my husband actually said is that I'm going to get like a cleaner who might come 2 times a week.
To
I don't
clean
even
it.
need. He's not somebody that wants fresh food every day. Bless God, used to have lights. I cook once, stock the fridge. You can come back from work. I'm in the room. I'm not sleeping. I'm just with Louis. He will make his eba eat. He doesn't know how to cook. That's the only thing he doesn't know how to do. But he
Wow.
can warm his soup and make his eba. He likes eba. So
Rose,
yes, he
you're not
can.
married to a Nigerian man, I bet.
I say
I'm
it's
telling
Americana Nigeria.
you.
Bring him
So
over here.
my own
He's
is
very
Americana
suitable here.
Nigeria.
You know, when we say this thing, they think we are because they're in America. No, the situation will make you conform. You know, some of our people, we work night, some work afternoon, some work morning. You understand? So you now wait until that woman comes back before you eat. Hunger go deal with you.
As in,
Nobody will tell you where food is. So far that woman makes food and put in the fridge, that's enough she can do for you. When you come back and the house is scattered, you clean it. You don't have to wait. But our people, instead of them to clean it, they will just start waiting for the woman and cause the woman that is, look at how you allow the whole house to be scattered. Now for what?
She should come back from wherever she is and come and do
then
it.
she too should go and look for help that will help her. Because that's how you see women that are just 25, they've shrunk because of housework. They've shrunk. Housework is a lot of work. Everybody
It
knows
is.
it's a lot. It doesn't end.
I
It
believe
doesn't
most of
end.
us saw one interview they did about a mother's job. They used to circulate during Mother's Day. One woman, there is this interview position is an operational manager. You have to stand on your feet 24 hours. You don't have a break. You don't eat. You don't do this. You don't do that. So they interviewed a lot of people if they fit in for the job. They say, which kind of job that will not have a break? Which kind of job that you don't take nap? Which kind of job that you only take nap when the person you came to serve is already sleeping? They could not believe they said, okay, what is the job? By the time they finished that process, it was a social experiment. They said it's being a mother. Everybody became quiet. And I believe those who that went through that process, when they got home, they would have appreciated their mother a little more. Because it's one vocation that has no salary. You don't earn any job for doing it.
Yeah.
And you do it cheerfully. So there is no reason why you should not put in your best. This overdependence on nannies is causing a lot of problem in Nigeria. One of my commenters here, Eddie Joseph from Facebook, Joseph reminded me of what happened in Ikoyi, Lagos. That was years back. Even when I was in Nigeria, that was when it happened. A madam that has 3 children, her 3 kids got HIV because the nanny is HIV positive.
Wow.
And the nanny will come and be brushing the children with her toothbrush.
She's a wicked person.
Thank you. But if that woman had taken her time to brush her kids in the morning, give them birth.
Oh, why did she even run a test before they came into her house?
She was doing it before the nanny came, right? Then what changed?
This overdependence. People run tests on hepatitis, HIV, all these things before the nanny.
Maybe at that time, this happened before I came to the US. So maybe over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe at that time, this examination and all of that was not popular. You understand? So tell me how that woman will be happy. And I don't think she was able to make more babies. So you can understand it. Because of over-dependency on nannies. Some people, even on YouTube here, remember when they did a nanny house help saga? Some people said that people overseas are jealous because we cannot afford to have nanny. Who said you cannot afford to have nanny? But we chose not to, because that's intrusion into your privacy. But people don't get it. You're bringing a total different person to come and know when you and your husband fight, when you don't have food in your home. That is invading your privacy, but people don't get it. Yes, you can afford to pay somebody $800 or $850 a month to live in with you as a nanny. You get what I'm saying? But you have your privacy with you? No, you don't have it. Because the moment that person leaves your home, of course, some of your secrets are already out there.
Yeah, and that's why, like somebody like Linda KG, a lot of things are not known about her because I don't think she has a help. When she gave birth to her son, her mother literally moved in with her, lived with her for a very long time, and she works from home. and you never see her in parties. She doesn't go anywhere. She's blogs from home. She does her business from home. So
And
she's there with her child.
her younger sister is the one supervising the watching of her son. Because, okay, look at who was calling that nanny, that Davido's nanny. Are you sure it's not a blogger calling her? Are you sure it's not somebody that is going to pay her
so
millions
sad.
to get information?
Mm-hmm.
See, people don't get it. Over dependency on nannies in Nigeria is causing a lot of problem. Today is Davido. Tomorrow it will be another person. If our women like, let them hear and wake up. I'm just making this live stream. I say,
I
wake
thought
up.
a lot of things that can help matters. I always say, like, okay, washing machines are not luxury, but some people will have money for it. But because house help has to be washing clothes, and another thing again with this nanny duty, why for the videos on, I cannot say that this is their issue because I'm sure that maybe the nanny's job was just nanny. Another issue again with Nigeria, this thing we are saying that labor is even cheap. How many people have the money to employ a cook, a nanny, my friend was telling me that her brothers help in Abuja, that her only job is to mind the two children. She does not do anything because of the agency that brought her. She doesn't cook, she doesn't do anything, she just feeds the children and she doesn't do other chores. But most people that have helps in Nigeria, now I have my 2-year-old. I might say, okay, I have a help. The person is supposed to take care of Louis. But when I'm going to the market, I gave her a heap of clothes to wash. She has to wash toilets. So where is she minding Louis? Do you get? So before you know, something has happened to that child because of the plenty work they are giving one person. The person has limited time to do the work, and the person is working. Before you know, something has happened to your child. So it's not even like nanny is doing only nanny job. Nanny is doing cook, doing going to the market, doing plenty things. Just one person. Sometimes these people are very, very angry because you are overworking them. The time that you shift, you leave your child, they will go and relax on AC and be watching African Magic. Your child will be chewing chalk. Nobody cares.
That is it. That is it.
So sad.
It is really so sad. But I think people, when things like this happen, everybody will shapen up a little bit, and then after a while they will relax and go back to normal. If there is anything to take home, those people that are having young kids, please, if you have a pool, get a pool covering. If you can afford a pool, you can afford the covering. You can afford to barricade that pool away from the child. And if you're having a nanny, put in CCTV. And don't tell your nanny, this is CCTV 1, this is 2, this 3. No. Put it in a place that they will not see.
They will not see.
So that you know how you do your appraiser every week. Sit down with your nanny, do appraiser. You got it right here, this, that. I want you to improve on this. I want you to. He's an employee, for crying out loud. You can appraise your employee.
And I was also thinking, is that there no other way that children can begin to learn how to swim quite earlier than 3? Because if there's that kind of big pool in the house, by 1 they should be swimming. I saw what they call it, Gab Union, when her baby was very small. They were already teaching her how to swim at 4 months. She started learning how to swim from 4 months because they had a pool and everything.
Yeah,
So
let me welcome few persons. Thank you, Sonia's Family TV, for being here. Thank you, True Mamle, for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Rose, what you said, when I started taking my kids to learn how to swim, in my state, we call our state a state of 10,000 lakes because we don't have the Atlantic pass through us, but we have lakes. At my backyard, there is lake somewhere. Almost every angle. We have big ones that you can look at them, you think they are oceans, but they are lakes. So it's required in the states where I think is applicable to all the states in the US. When the child is in grade 6, you must pass swimming exam, swimming test. So you don't have to wait until your child is 10 years old. You have to start on time. But we, the Black people, we don't take those things very seriously. Oyibo will born child 3 months. When I started taking my kids to learn how to swim, I would say 3 months. They are bringing them to learn. I say, sure. I would have,
especially if you have a pool in your house.
I would have started early. Niyama was carrying my children at age 6. I'm seeing 3 months old. I say, oh. So what you said is right. If you have a pool, get a pool instructor. Get your children into water. Mercy Johnson did it. It's not that Mercy Johnson is in Nigeria. She put those children in the pool very early. Her kids, they can all swim. So you don't have to, but Davido's case is different because Davido is not stable. Today, Chioma is out. Today, Chioma is in. So that's not a family setting.
And I
So
think they
that's
just
why,
moved in together a few
yeah.
months ago.
So
No, they just
he's
made
not
up. So I
stable.
think they moved in together a few months ago. So the house is still like new to the child and all that.
Yeah. So that's just it. If you're getting into family way, there are so many adjustments to make. As you're putting gates on the staircases so that the child will not fall, the edges, any sharp edges, any corner that is sharp, there's this plastic thing they sell all over the stores in the US that you use to zip lock it. Even your fridge, you have key for fridge, plastic ziplock key when you have children. For your stove, you have key. For pot where you put pot and knives, they are all key under key and lock in the US. Once your child can open a drawer, you have to lock everything. You're not doing it because you're crazy. You're doing it because of that little man or little girl in your house. That's the only reason why you're putting all this in place. And most of them are not expensive. They are plastic. It's something you can discard when you're tired. But our people don't even think about it because they have nanny. And nanny, it goes around with it. Nanny can't go around with your child 24 hours. The nanny might be taking a nap. The child already woken up and then came out from the crib and doing his own thing. But you have to secure your environment. As a parent, do what you can do. Don't depend on the nanny solely. That's what I'm saying here. Honestly,
Yeah.
it is a sad story. I can't even imagine it. I don't want to imagine
It's
what
crazy.
happened. But what I know is that the boy had a tragic last moment,
Yeah.
a
Ah,
very painful one, which nobody
so
should do.
disheartening.
You know,
Ah,
one of my aunties said when she came to the US and was with her daughter, she came to visit me. She now said that "Nne, the day I want to die, I want to just go to bed and sleep and die. That she doesn't want to suffer. Sometimes there is power. I believe there is power in spoken words. People
yes,
should
there
be
is.
careful. Be careful the utterances you make. People should be careful. This my auntie, when the first time she fell ill, they said that she should come back to the US. She said no, she's not coming back. That she feels if she comes back here, she's going to die in the US. That she doesn't want to be so sickly. So they took care of her in Nigeria. She got better. After a while, she went back to the moment it started to the point that going to the hospital, which is what she asked God. I don't want to be very sickly. That day they took her to the hospital, the second visit. She was on admission. The next day they called all her children. She was talking with them on the phone. After talking with them, say what that now she's tired though, that she can't be coming to this hospital, though, that it's just for them to know. By the 1 o'clock our time, the woman don't go.
Hey,
You understand? Because she didn't want to suffer any of her children, not neither suffer herself. So people should know what you want. Go for it. Don't let the society dictate for you. And I see somebody, Chioma is always now following the video, bumper to bumper. Sometimes you take a moment to stay by yourself. Take a moment. Davido has made all his mistakes with all the baby mamas. Even if he wants to cheat in front of you, they will organize a woman for him. You can't stop that. But the only thing you have got hold of is that child of yours. So now she's grieving. Davido is grieving.
And the sad thing I was saying today is that the sad thing is that she lost her only child. Davido has other children.
Yeah,
So
Davido
their
has
grieving is
four
different
more,
on
right?
different levels.
Davido
It's
has
on
four
different
more.
levels.
Yeah, that's the
hey,
only leverage she has in that relationship. Is that cute boy? So we don't even know if the marriage is gonna hold anymore. We don't even know what is gonna become of them.
of them again.
Honestly, it's a very
Sis, I'm
sad.
going to go down now. Be in the comments.
You are amazing. Thank you for
Thank
jumping
you.
in here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Olivia.
All right, take care. Thanks for coming.
Honestly, I
Bye.
really appreciate you. Thank you for
You're
being here.
welcome.
Chumam, all of you. Peppy said, thank you, Peppy. Peppy is unique, Lady P. Thank you for always coming to cheer me up. I appreciate you. She was like, was it not 2 weeks ago a child got drowned during swimming lesson? Yes, we're not even talking about that one anymore. That one, the parents are not popular now. So, I mean, what will people say? But this one is a child that all of us have come to know, we've come to see, we've come to watch grow from pregnancy till she passed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and it's so painful. Thank you, Linda Nenye. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate every one of you. This is a very sad story. It is a very painful one. But like I said before, as a mother, as a father, do your due diligence. Even if you're employing nannies, make sure you do appraisal every week. And when you're doing your appraisal, make sure you have CCTV in the home. A YouTuber here said how she monitors, she has CCTV in her Nezaville. We all know her. So you can get this thing. They are, not all of them are expensive. They are the ones that are affordable. If you can afford to drive
You said
it,
something. I didn't get it. You said a YouTuber said.
yeah, she has CCTV. Nezaville, when she was doing it, was a banker. So she was
Okay.
asked how she managed her time working late. She said, well, that she got a CCTV, so she knows what is happening in her house. She sees it through her phone and all of
Wow.
that. Lucky enough, where they live, they have light consistently, so she can be able to monitor her kids even when she is not there. You understand? She has two nannies, but when she's not there, she's still monitoring the nannies and monitoring her kids. That is parenting, 2022 kind of parenting. We can parent the way our parents parent. If you want to know that you're a career woman, you can be there 24/7 with your children, do the needful. Get all these things in place. If you want to hire a nanny, find an agency that know if they do screening and all of that, how qualified these nannies are. And on your own as a madam or as an oga, do appraisal report, weekly appraisal, weekly, one monthly. Find out things that you will be able to like say, this is where you're getting it wrong. I need you to work on this. And if the person is not making any changes, fire the person and sit down and raise your child. There is no joy as beautiful as raising your child. You can take pride in doing that. And for those that are doing it and others are looking down on them, that why is it that you cannot get a nanny in Nigeria? They should stop that nonsense.
Seriously, they should.
Everybody can have a nanny. They should stop it. Practically, they should stop it and stop discouraging women who believe solely, I want to be part of my child's life. I want to be on her daily,
Home and taking care of them.
to-do activities. Yeah, it is a good thing. Here overseas, we have what we call house husband. The man stays more at home, the wife works more. They do interchanging here. You this period, this is what you're going to do. This they do it together and they raise children.
But that's how it's supposed to be.
No, not a back home. Oh. Back home, you forgot to know God is always on the top. Eh? Madam, now you go raise the children. When the child is doing well, the man will taste glory. But if your child is not doing poor at school, look at your child. Look at your child, one year. Look at your child. That's the thing.
Seriously, we need to change.
We need to. Honestly, this is a wake-up call for every mother out there and for every person that thinks I can afford a pool, get pool cover. I can afford a pool, barricade the pool away from the child and put it under key and lock so that it's only adults can unlock it and walk into the pool. And if you're having nanny, don't over depend on your nannies. Please, over dependency on these nannies is what is choking today. Don't over depend on your nannies. If you go to somebody asked me here, how will you know if you don't have CCTV what your nanny is doing? Your nanny has mastered your timetable. You go out at 8, you come back at 5. Sometimes intercept.
Yes, yes.
Come home at 10 o'clock in the morning and find what your nanny is doing if the nanny is even at home.
Exactly.
Honest, these things are so easier to like find out. And ask neighbors around. Ask them around. Have somebody, if you don't have CCTV, always come back different time from the regular time so that you'll be able to know what is going on in your place. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for being here, getting it right.
I'll be going now first. Thank you so much for having me around.
Thank
Bye.
you so much, beautiful. I really appreciate all your contribution today. Thank you so much. You see what Spicy said, don't be predictable. If you have a nanny, always take them unawares. Now you said they'll be predictable. Let me say something to you, Spicy. You know that the day I told you we are going for a conference, school conference, and there was something that happened. My daughter was expecting me, whoa, as usual. Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't even say zilch. So the next day, I now started talking about it. She said, Mommy, I was surprised you did not talk yesterday. I said, because you already know that's mommy's way. Say, no, mommy is a chameleon. I have too many dynamics to my parenting. Sometimes I'll be in the mood, I will yell and scream. Sometimes I will ignore. She was like, wow, mommy, I wasn't expecting you to be quiet yesterday. So, like Spicy said, don't be predictable if you're a madam. If you're an organ, you have nanny, don't be predictable. Sometimes just take your break time or go home early and then nicely, quietly sneak into the house. Open the door with her. Don't not when you get home, you start honking at the gate. Papa, 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 open the door. No, park your car outside, walk into the compound without being noticed to find out what goes on in your home when you're not there. These are small, small things you can do on your own to be that vigilante that is required in your own home when you have nannies. Don't over depend on your nannies. And also, I want to use this opportunity to sympathize with the Adeleke's family and the Roland's family, because two ways they are both mourning this beautiful son that was lost yesterday. Chioma's parents, I know they are mourning because it's their grandchild, and the Adeleke's family are mourning. Davido and Chioma, they are in deep pain. But one thing is this, I know God comforts. Let that God of comfort come down for them right now. This is the hour, this is the time, this is the season. Let each and every one of us that are so concerned about this young boy that just went to be with Jehovah, pray for the family and let God give them closure. Let God profound to them way to come together, to grieve together, and to heal together. I know God can never fail. He can never. What he does not know, what he can do does not exist. He will at the same time find closure for these people. He will help them every step of the way to find healing. And that same God will help them if they continue as couple, grant them more babies. I know none can replace Ifeanyi, but they will use memories of Ifeanyi to raise the other one more carefully. Let them remember this child in his fun way, his energetic way, his active, lovely, and his beautiful way. Let those memories help them to heal. Having said that, everybody, I'll be taking my leave today. Thank you guys for being here with me on this Tuesday afternoon. I have all the time I needed to do this today, and I thank God I came out to do it. Say a prayer for the Adelekes. Put Davido and Chioma into God's hand, and God will help them heal. And to every parent out there, especially in Nigeria, if you have a pool, please get a pool cover. If you have a pool, put a barricade, a gate, a wall around the pool to secure the pool. Pool safety should be a mandatory thing when you're thinking of having a pool in your house, not just for the beauty of going to have a swim or having a pool in your compound, but let safety be number one priority before you get a pool. And for our madams back home, those that employ nannies, make sure you supervise your nanny. When I mean bumper to bumper, every now and then do appraisals. And if you can afford to pay nanny high amount of money monthly, you can afford to have CCTV. Get one for your home and don't let them know that there are CCTV in the house monitoring them. This will help you understand if that so-called nanny is actually doing the work that she or he has been paid to do. If not, you know how to take the next approach you're going to take towards such a nanny. Let this not happen again. It happened 4 years ago. It was debanned. This year, 2022, is Davido. Let this be the last that will happen. One too many. Two is already a heartache. Let it not happen again. With this, I'll be signing out. And if you watch me from Facebook, thank you for the share. Thank you for the like. Let me also know what your thought is in the comment section. Thank you guys for being simply amazing. And for all the people that contributed today, thank you, Spicy. Thank you, Peppy. Thank you, Getting It Right with Olivia. Thank you, Rosie Ketch. Thank you, everyone that came today. Sonia's family. Thank you, True Mamle. Thank you, Mel Fitness. Thank you, Linda Nenye. All of you that contributed today in today's conversation. I really appreciate every one of you. I can't call all of you by name. Vicky, Joseph from Facebook, Ginika from Facebook. Thank you guys for joining me today. Your fantastic contribution is not taken for granted. Thank you guys immensely for making this a live stream a beautiful one. Aziza TV show, Cost Rep, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. And Nemozo, thank you so much, Wanyoma. God bless you. Real good for always coming to support us here. And all of you, if I don't mention your name, please forgive me. Nelo's side, I want to say thank you all. I'll be taking my leave now until I see you guys again on Saturday on another live stream. I'm not sure I'm gonna come up on Thursday, but if I have the chance, I will. If not, I'll see you guys on Saturday morning. Thank you guys for being so kind. Stay well and please be well. Thank you guys.